But I think the development of full artificial intelligence would spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody's checking it out.
I don't know if it was a rocket or whatever, but incredibly fast, almost the direction. It was too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
You said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please help!
Aliens won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0.
Self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest. Into the digital darkness.
Yo ho, yo ho. Welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. What's up, guys? I'm your host, Michael Strange, and this is the show where we talk about all the things we're not allowed to talk about. You know what those things are? Aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, the government, academia, the 24-hour news cycle, propaganda, and the general feeling that we live in the upside down. And this show is live. If you are listening tonight, it is Tuesday, one of the nights we get together and do this, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific. And we're streaming live on Facebook, DLive, and YouTube. We are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM. And we're taking your phone calls. If you want to be part of the show at any point tonight, give us a call at 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And you can be part of the show. We don't screen calls, open lines, and you can kind of talk about whatever, as long as you don't derail too hard. And tonight, the topic is, we're talking about UFOs again. Because this is the week, right? This is the actual week that we've been waiting for. The 6-month UFO countdown. And we've talked about this on this show quite a bit, but this is it. We're getting actual officials from the government saying, well, we expect it any day now, right? So the 6-month mark would be June 25th, right? June 25th would be the 6-month mark for the UFO disclosure, whatever the heck the government's going to release. And as a result of that, let's see, hold on. What did I do here? I think I messed something up. Okay, so anyway, So as a result of this, again, so this was, if everybody remembers, just to recap, there was a provision written into a COVID relief bill back in December. And so they were given a provision that they had to, within 6 months, provide what the government knows about UFOs, okay? And so many people have billed this, the disclosure, like this is what's happening. The government is now coming out and they'll be like, yeah, the aliens are here, right? And of course, you know, there's other folks, myself included, that are in that camp that are just kind of like, yeah, this seems suspicious, doesn't it? Because of course, well, it doesn't make sense that the government would, without any good reason, would just suddenly come out with information like this. So I don't know. Like I said, it depends on who you ask. Some people are excited about this, like really, really excited that this report's coming out. And what I'm reading right now is there's some people that have know some insiders or whatever, and they're saying this UFO report is going to be 73 pages or thereabouts, okay? The classified version. But then the unclassified version that we're going to be able to read every word of, well, hopefully, if there's not any kind of redactions or the rest of this stuff, will be 4 pages. So do the math, and it seems like there's a whole lot of information, even though they're trying to do a UFO disclosure report, release it so people know what's going on. It still seems like we're not going to get a ton of information, but it will be interesting. I'm going to admit that it will be interesting to see what, okay? So I'm going to be positive in that manner. Many times I'm a negative Nancy about this because we're going on 75 years of a government cover-up of UFOs. Clearly, that's the case. Pretty much no matter who you ask. If anybody has their ear to the ground in the ufology community, it's definitely been a cover-up, like I was saying in the last show, or the last show with Ash anyway. And so, as a result, right, we have Friday coming up, and they're saying this report's supposed to drop any day now, meaning that it might come before Friday, which is odd because if you remember, we were looking at the news reports in the past, and they were saying that, well, it's probably going to be late because everything with the government's always late. And then when it comes, the media kind of had an inside leak situation where they're like, well, maybe temper your expectations on this UFO report because, well, there's not going to be a lot in it, right? Well, okay, so with all of that said, we're still looking forward to this. I am, at least, and only because, like I said, it's important to kind of go through the information and what they tell you, because I think you can derive a lot of information by reading between the lines on what they don't tell you, or the things they redact, or right, some of these things. And so I don't know. Like again, I'm split here. I'm not jumping out of my pants trying to get excited about this and figure out what the heck is going on, because I just don't trust the government. I mean, there's that, right? There's that whole well, if you trust the government, maybe there's anyway, so that's what's going on, and so okay. So of course, as the press does, they're running around trying to do their best to probably just get a head start on this, right? Like they're so very much like, if you guys remember when it happened not that long ago, several weeks back, 60 Minutes aired the special with the the whole Lou Elizondo thing and the Tic Tacs and the Graves as the fighter pilot and Fravor and Dietrich and all these folks, all these like respected people that have sober people, let's say, right, sober respected individuals that are saying they've seen these UFOs. All right, now this happened several weeks back, and it was nuts. The media was just going UFO crazy. And so, of course, me being the suspicious mind that I am, the troubled mind, as it were, I didn't buy it. It seemed like it was a kind of a distraction attempt. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not exactly sure because I don't have any insider sources. I don't like Ryan Gable says, I don't have a galactic Federation ambassador or anything like this. I'm just me. I'm just watching news cycles and trying to figure this stuff out on my own, which clearly and of course is difficult, right? It's a hard thing because everything they give us probably in the news cycle is fake, is bogus, right? It's twisted, it's spun, it's just a whole lot of garbage that's just not very good, right? Deceptive at best, right? Flat out division, hatred rhetoric at worst. And so I don't know, like that's what I'm saying, and that's why I'm a little less optimistic about this, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm open to being wrong. This is not about, there's so many places you could turn on a radio program or the television or this or that, and everybody wants to give you the answers. Everybody wants to tell you what to think or how to consume this or how to do this or what to eat or who to vote for or any of the rest of this. I don't care. I want you to be you, and I want you to be the best you that you can be. That's it. I don't care. Like I'm not trying to feed you full of information that there's no ulterior motive here, is what I'm saying. I'm hoping we have a conversation that continues. After 3 years now, we've been doing this show for over 3 years, talking about all kinds of crazy stuff. And so this is just part of it. We watch the UFO community. We watch what the government does. We watch the news cycles and all the rest of that. So anyway, what exactly are we expecting? All right, from this UFO report, because it's going to drop this week. So when it hits, we will talk about it. I may do a special stream on Friday. We'll see. It depends when this stuff comes out. So if it hits Friday, maybe we'll do like an hour or two on Friday also, just to kind of talk about this as, you know, and read the actual document as it comes out. Like I said, we're expecting to see 4 pages of unredacted UFO information from the government sometime this week. And Friday is the day. Matter of fact, we've got a countdown here. Let me show you the countdown. If you guys haven't seen this countdown, it's fantastic. If you go to don'tblamethealiens.com, a friend of ours made this, and this is the actual countdown until UFO disclosure, all right? And so don'tblamethealiens.com, and it's just a little tongue-in-cheek counter of when we expect this. And so as you notice, it's 3 days, 4 hours, 43 minutes, and 25 seconds. Tick-tock, tick-tock, right? And so that's what we're waiting for. That's what's going on this week, and that's what's so exciting. Well, okay, so with all that said now, to kind of brief the folks who aren't in on this information, and you know, I understand if you don't keep up with all the UFO news. I get it. It's exhausting. It's a whirlwind of information sometimes. It's disinformation. It's misinformation. It's fake news. It's propaganda, all this other stuff. So I understand. So it's okay. If you don't want to follow it closely, you got me. I'm your insider with no inside sources. How does that make you feel? So anyway, here we go. This is reported by Salon.com, right? One of the most amazing news sources in the world. But of course, they're talking about the UFO report because it's coming. And so, like I said, just like 3 weeks ago or several weeks back, whenever it was, when 60 Minutes did that UFO report on, the Tic Tacs and all the rest of this stuff and the threat narrative and all the stuff they were talking about, the media went insane, right? They went UFO crazy. And I think it's about to happen this week again. So TMZ is on the case, and we'll play a clip here from Marco Rubio in a sec where he's talking about this. But this is from Salon, and the headline reads this. Marco Rubio says spicy UFO details will become public. And, quote, ain't no way that doesn't leak. The Republican senator was just asked about the government's highly anticipated report on UFOs. Now, pretty poppin' headline there, right? Pretty poppin' headline. Everybody's like, oh, wow, this is going to be good. Well, we'll see. Senator Marco Rubio was interviewed by TMZ about UFOs at Reagan National Airport on Monday. The senator was asked about the government's highly anticipated report on UFOs. Quote, I think we'll have more information, but I think at the end, I don't think people should be expecting that it's going to answer. There's going to be a lot of questions, even after it, he said. But for me, it's about treating this seriously, he said. Rubio was also asked if there was something spicy that was redacted in the report. Ain't no way that doesn't leak. And of course, well, in case you want to hear the actual audio clip, I've got it. Here we go. This is exactly what he said, and you can see if they reported this accurately or not. I leave that up to you, but here it is. This is the actual audio clip of Marco Rubio in an impromptu interview at the airport by TMZ.
This is June now. We're waiting for the hearing, well, not the hearing, the results from the report from the UFO.
I think they keep telling us it should be out any day now, so, I think we'll have more information, but I think at the end, I don't think people should be expected. It's going to answer a lot. There's going to be a lot of questions even after, and I think the gist of the report is probably going to be something like, these are documented events, these are the ones we can explain, these are the ones that we can't. But for me, it's about treating it seriously. This could be a foreign adversary with an advanced capability, and we can't get surprised by that.
We're not going to see a lot of retracted stuff.
Well, they're classified. It's not because they're keeping it secret. Well, they are, but it's not because they're hiding it from people. It's because they don't want people to know how they collected on that information. Like releasing it might give away some technological advantage we have, or the way we collect intelligence. So that's why they classify things.
And that's the only thing that scares the public, because we see that time and time again,
man. The way politics are now, I assure you, if they classify it something spicy in it, ain't no way that doesn't leak. You know what I mean?
Okay. Thank you so much, man.
Okay. As he said, if they classify, so he's saying that the reason they classify information is, of course, because they want to protect their sources, their data collection sources, their intelligence sources, right? Sources and methods, they call it. All right. So, but then notice this is the funny part about Washington, about politics, about the press, about all these other things, about Julian Assange, even, I don't know if Snowden's in the same case, but he said there's no way. If there's something spicy in there that they try and cover up, there's no way that's not going to leak. All right, knowing full well that they can't keep a secret in Washington, and this is exactly part of why this is kind of comical coming from the disclosure report coming from these clowns. I mean, no offense to these fine politicians. I'm sure they're trying to do their best for us, right? Pardon me if I choke on my words, but from these clowns, I'll just boil it down to these clowns. And so this is the information we're getting, right? This is the kind of tongue-in-cheek. Well, there ain't no way it ain't gonna leak if there's something spicy in the report here. Well, of course. So we'll see. Like I said, it's expected to be about 73 pages. 4 pages will be unclassified, and we should be able to read that ourselves. And we'll do it at some point. We'll have it on the show. It's only 4 pages. We'll talk about it in depth and try and figure out what's going on. But anyway, so that's what we're talking about tonight. So this week, right? This week is supposedly the culmination of 75 years of UFO activism, all right? UAP activism, whatever you want to call it. I prefer the old term because UAP just sounds like a bad rebrand. You know what I'm saying? When they did the New Coke? Yeah, kind of like that, right? So I'm going to just roll with UFOs and we'll call it that. But you get my point, right? It's this is the government. This is information coming from them. And funny to me that Marco Rubio's like, well, it's going to leak. I mean, it already kind of has, right? Some people have stated that, well, we've seen the report and, et cetera, so on. So I don't know. I don't know what to think here other than what are our expectations? We've talked about this in the past, but it's on us. It's in our lap. This could hit right now as we're speaking. They could release the report. Because of course they do a lot of things kind of sneaky, like, right? They dump these reports kind of late in the afternoon, evenings, Fridays usually, dumping day, that whole thing. So who knows? Like this thing might have just come out right now for all I know. But we're doing a radio show here, but we're going to keep an eye on this. It's right now, this week, it's happening, and the disclosure movement is now. And is everybody excited? Are you all stoked to find out ET is really here, or ET is really not here? What's up? I see all kinds of different stuff in the chat. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you other than I'm cautiously optimistic and trying not to be such a downer about it because the government's involved, right? And as everything with the government, as soon as they get involved, become involved, it just kind of breaks, right? They break things. And so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I don't know. So that's the question tonight. Now, it's on us, right? We've talked about this in the past and had these same questions in the past. But now it's changed because it may hit tomorrow. This may hit Wednesday, Thursday, right? This is coming. And so we're told that it's on time. It's going to hit this week. And so the question is for you, and the conversation tonight is, what do you expect out of this? Many of us have seen UFOs with our own eyes. Many people have claimed to have had abduction experiences, actual abducted into a flying saucer and had things done to them, like genetic experiments and things like this. So again, right, everybody's reality is going to be different regarding this whole UFO conversation. So my question to you is, again, like I said, you can listen to me ramble on about what I think, but it's less interesting than if we hear from a collection of people. So as we do this tonight and we continue, is anybody excited about this? That's the question. Even now that it's upon us, it's gonna happen this week. It seems like hell or high water, they're gonna get this information out. Is anybody excited? Is anybody maybe trying to be positive about this? Like I'm trying really hard. I know it doesn't seem like it. but I'm trying really hard. You get my point. Is anybody excited about this? And what do you expect to hear from the likes of Marco Rubio and guys like this, right? Career liars. That's where I'm a little bit off track here. All right. It's just, I have a hard time believing anything coming from the government. So anyway, so what do you feel about it? Is it, are you excited about this? Is this something that's not going to change your paradigm in any way, shape, or form, no matter what's in that report, because you already know the truth? Or are you trying to be cautiously optimistic like I am? That's really the deal here, because it's honest. It is this week, and if you recall, let's play a quick clip from Marco Rubio from a couple weeks back, and this is what he was talking about specifically. So we heard the quote from TMZ at the airport, and I think that's what all the noise was in that really terrible audio clip. But there's one from 60 Minutes a while back that this is Marco Rubio again talking about the 60 or 180-day disclosure report, right? Which is, of course, coming up June 25th, sometime before now and then it's going to be released. But this is what Marco Rubio said a few weeks back.
This is a bizarre issue. The Pentagon and other branches of the military have a long history of sort of dismissing this. What makes you think that this time is going to be different?
I mean, we're going to find out when we get that report. You know, there's a stigma on Capitol Hill. I mean, some of my colleagues are very interested in this topic, and some kind of, giggle when you bring it up. But I don't think we can allow the stigma to keep us from having an answer to a very fundamental question.
What do you want us to do about this?
I want us to take it seriously and have a process to take it seriously. I want us to have a process to analyze the data. Every time it comes in, that there be a place where this is cataloged and constantly analyzed until we get some answers. Maybe it has a very simple answer. Maybe it doesn't.
Maybe it's a very simple answer. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. All right. So we're taking your phone calls tonight if you want to be part of the show. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And we're talking UFOs. We're talking about the 180-day UFO report that is due to hit this week. It's coming. We got a phone call. Let's go to Beechwood in Massachusetts. What's up, my friend? You're on Troubled Minds with Mike. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm sorry those gremlins got you earlier
okay.
in the week.
That's okay. That's okay. I had a plumbing issue that got it's handled. It's good. We're all good. So what do you think about this UFO report, my man? What do you think about this stuff?
Well, I tell you, I'm actually excited for it just to see, what they say. What I'm suspicious about is like the length of the documents. And I just try to relate it to other things that I know and can prove, like a simple thing like a visit to the emergency room, the medical records. If you go and get them, it's like 50 pages, one visit, one day.
That's the bill.
I would just
that's just the bill,
that it
brother.
Would be more information, and that's what I'm skeptical of. Is the length of that. Like if you've ever been in a courtroom, like court documents, they're always hundreds, thousands of pages long. Recently in Massachusetts, a few years ago, it was like a major drug bust thing, but I guess the whole like court document, like the whole case, it's like 150,000 pages. So something as big as like extraterrestrials in the government, I figured they'd have more than 4 pages. Because what can you honestly fit on 4 pages? Like how much? It's just not that much detailed information you can fit in 4 pages. So I want more information from them. But I don't know. There's a good chance it could be like nothing. They could just say they don't know anything.
Like literally nothing. Literally nothing. I think that's the most tragic part of this. We'll see. Like I said, let's try and be positive, and let's try and. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Let's be patient, be positive, and let's cross our fingers. There's something. 4 pages is something. It's not nothing. So I'm not expecting for them to tell us they're from Alpha Centauri or anything. Hey, we got to take a break, Beechwood. You want to hang on, or you want to cut? It's up to you, my man.
I'll hang on for 1 minute. I got a couple more points to make, and then, if you don't mind.
Okay, sure. Yeah, no sweat. All right, so this is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. We're talking about the 180-day UFO report. We're on the phone with Beechwood. Don't go anywhere. More conversation, more of your calls after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and tonight we're talking about UFOs. But not just UFOs, we're talking about this 180-day UFO report. What should we expect? If anything at all. And we're streaming on Facebook, D-Live, and YouTube. We are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM, and we're taking your phone calls. If you want to be part of the show tonight, number to call is 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And we do have Beechwood on the line. And let's go right back to Beechwood. And let's do it. Unmute Beechwood. Welcome back to the show. How are you, my friend?
I am still here, still doing good, still wondering. And yeah, I had a few more, points and kind of questions to put out there that maybe, someone might have a point of view on. And that's really just like, 4 pages, 70 pages after all these years. It makes me wonder, like, the government's releasing these documents. It really just makes me wonder, like, the relation between government and private industry. Like, is there a secret group above the government? Is it like a give-take relationship that, nobody sees with the media and what gets released? But and the other, like, when you research this stuff and you do it for a long time and you get to know, the mainstream stuff and the stories, it just doesn't all add up. And I was thinking about the guy, I think his name was like Gary McKinnon. He was like a computer hacker. And he got access to some documents. But what they released in the story, like, he got hundreds and thousands of pages. And now you're just going to give us 4 pages. It's just not good enough for me. It's not. But we know now, like, the mainstream public, if you say UFOs, it's now like it's becoming accepted. You don't get the wide-eyed, you're crazy. It's been accepted, acknowledged by the media, by the government. It could just be human technology, and that the rest of society got, like someone mentioned in an earlier show, junk technology. Even though we think it's really good and advanced, it may be junk technology to keep us distracted. And there could be this, elite group that has the advanced technology. And I know just in the industry, if you're a wealthy person and you're in that club, you have access to information as to like what's going to be popular. Stuff that's popular comes out years before it's released to the public. So it just makes me think that with the UFOs and that type of technology, it's the same thing. I do believe in extraterrestrials. But as far as what we get from the media, I think you can probably get more from, like, doing your own research, and you just have to decipher what's true or not. And that's like the big issue for me right now. Whatever they say, people think it's gonna be true because they said it.
Yeah,
which is
unfortunate.
That's just the way it is. But I'm open-minded, so
yeah. So think about it this way. This is the thing that kind of there's a lot kind of gets to me. There's a lot of people that literally believe extraterrestrials are here. And that's fine. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying there's a lot of people that already believe that. So if that's the case, what do you think the odds are of extraterrestrial contact, or at least observations from the government, and them not knowing? You know what I mean? It almost seems like they know. They already know. And what we're going to get from that, I think, is the unfortunate part. But yeah, so do you think it's possible for the government to be like, no, we have no idea that this is happening? You know what I mean? Do you think that's even a possibility at this point?
Yes, I do. And I think that, statement and that type of thinking is facing the right direction. For one, it is possible. It's totally possible. I just recently, I was thinking about, I had a birthday recently, so I was thinking about when I was a little kid, man. At one time, you believed anything was possible. and then that body dies. But the fact is we're alive. You know, we're conscious beings. Anything is possible. The fact that we're alive is amazing. And I think that, yeah, that is possible. It is a possibility that that scenario could be true.
All right. Fair enough. I appreciate it, my man. So we're going to cross our fingers that we get something this week. When we do get those 4 pages, we'll be all over it, man. So you know me. We're not going to let that slip by. We'll be all over that, and we'll be talking about it when it happens. And I hope you'll call me back then.
Absolutely. I am excited. I really get excited for stuff, but you know what? I'm a little excited for it. So yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me on, and your show's gonna blow up. So when you become famous, don't leave us all in the dust, Mike. Remember us.
You got it, buddy. You got it, buddy. Friends of the show are always friends of the show. I appreciate it, my man. Thanks for the call. That's Beechwood from Massachusetts. We'll talk to you soon. Okay, have a great night.
Take it easy, man.
Thanks a lot, bro. You too. All right, so we're talking about this 180-day UFO report, guys. And so, as we know, we've kind of been monitoring the situation through the media and what they've been saying with the 60-minute special and all this other stuff, right? We've been keeping a close eye on this, but the time is now. The time has arrived where we're supposed to be getting this information. And so we're talking about it tonight, kind of maybe setting the expectation of what we expect as individuals. Of course, remember, nobody is trying to tell you what to think here. You think what you think, and it's good. You call us, you talk about these things, we get enough information from enough different people, and you get an idea of what people believe out there, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So we are taking your phone calls, talking about UFOs, talking about this 180-day UFO report, and you can reach us at 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. You can also join the show using the Discord, which is a chat client, a voice client. It's totally free as long as you have an internet connection, and you can get that at troubledminds.org. Just click the Discord link, and it'll give you a direct invite. So, all right, let's go to the Copper Mustache. Thank you for the phone calls, guys, and keep them coming, please. There we go. Copper Mustache, you are on Troubled Minds. How are you, my friend?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
I hate to be the Debbie Downer here.
It's okay. Really excited. It's okay, man. Go right ahead.
But you know, I just did some quick scamming of the internet, of the interwebs here, and Washington Post. March 23rd, 2021, 6 a.m. Central Time. Let me just read this brief little paragraph. The legislation which President Donald Trump signed into law was a bureaucratic nesting doll that ran more than 5,500 pages and contained the Intelligence Authorization Act, fiscal 2021. Which itself carries an unusual provision in its committee section beneath the understanding head advanced aerial threat. So how do you boil 5,500 pages down to 75 pages, which is what Beach just said? It's a pop. I mean, come on, this is a joke. 75 freaking pages. I mean, I've read comic books longer than 75 pages.
Yeah.
What? I mean, if they'd gone back to 1970, it would have been more. I was figuring that they were going to go back from like 1950 until then. But here's the interesting part. How is Luis Alessandro? What's his response going to be to 75 pages? What's he going to say? I mean, he knows all this stuff, supposedly. How is he going to say, oh, yeah, that was a great deal, 75 pages?
Yeah, so I think...
You got any idea?
Yeah, so I think I can't speak for the man or anybody else, but here's what I gather, is that they understand that Chris Mellon, Lou Elizondo, these guys that have been pressing for this disclosure from the government, they understand that it's not going to happen all at once. And so he's kind of eyeballing this with the reference that it's a start. And so as we know, once information comes out from the government, people start filing FOIA requests, questions get asked, and it presses the issue forward. Okay, and that's really what they're looking to do. So I don't think that he's going to be again, I can't speak for anybody, but it seems to me like he's expecting it to be a whole lot of maybe something, but not really. And so, but it's going to start a conversation, he hopes, and start congressional hearings and some other things. So I don't know. Like, I'm with you. Like you said, I'm trying really hard not to be the Debbie Downer about this, especially if it boils down to 4 pages. Like Beechwood said, he's totally right. The bill at the dentist is longer than 4 pages. It's like, come on, guys.
It's crazy. I mean, it's almost an insult to our intelligence to sit there and go, we're going to give you 75 pages. Because, 75 pages, they can BS. Notice I didn't swear, Mike. BS of crap that could go on. I mean, it this makes no sense at all. This is just craziness. And there's no guarantee that they're even going to come out with the whopping 75 pages they're saying they're going to come out with. They can come out tomorrow and say, we got delayed another 6 months. And then it's down to 25 pages. And then they go, we got delayed another 6 months. And you read it in the Sunday funny papers. I mean, it's just like craziness.
Yeah. Again, I can't refute anything you just said. I completely agree. But again, I'm crossing my fingers. It's going to be 1 page that says the aliens are here and they're from Alpha Centauri. I mean, come on.
Maybe. And that's just it. One word. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's kind of what Trump is. Maybe. It might be. Stick to it sometimes.
Exactly.
It might be something I might not. I don't.
Exactly.
It's craziness.
Exactly.
I'll let you go. I don't want to take up all the time.
All good, bro.
But I can't imagine anybody coming up with a good theory behind us.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, if it hits Friday, we'll do a special stream on Friday, and we'll go through the entire report, the entire 4 pages. I appreciate the call.
Think about you're planning on 5 minutes of your time.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe it'll be a short stream.
More people drink a beer during that, Mike.
Yeah, well, that's all right. I'll figure something out. I'll get an IV or something. I appreciate the call, my friend. Copper Mustache from YouTube. Thanks for the call. We'll talk to you soon. There you go. So we're talking about these 180-day UFO report, and it's on us. It's supposed to hit any time now. All right, it could be released first thing tomorrow morning. Right? They're telling us it's going to be 73 pages. It's 4 pages of unclassified material, which we're going to be able to read with our own eyes. We're going to be able to see what the government says about aliens, about UFOs, about, well, we'll see. We'll see what's in it. But that's supposedly what it's going to be based on, right? And they've been working on this. And there's some drama. There's some intrigue, of course. They say that at the DOD, there's been pushback of different departments not trying to get information to the individuals putting together this disclosure report. So there's a bunch of drama with this, as you would expect, right? Because it's, again, coming from the government. Huge bureaucracies, unclear designations of who's in charge of who between different departments and things like this. So I mean, like in that sense, I get it. I understand that it's just a monstrous bureaucracy, and it's hard because, well, that's what happens when you create a tentacled leviathan so large you can't control it. It ends up controlling you. So in any case, that's what we're talking about tonight. And there's more information we'll get to in a sec, but we're taking your phone calls. What do you think? What do you expect about the 180-day UFO report, which is going to hit any day now? It could be tomorrow. It could be Friday. It could be Thursday, whenever. We'll see. But the deal is it's on us, right? All the waiting is here. And as the Night Stalker out there said, the summer of saucers may be reaching a fever pitch this week. And we'll see what happens. Again, it'll be interesting to note what happens with the media, all right? Meaning that when the report comes out, if they jump all over it and go insane for like 3 weeks, talking about UFOs or flying saucers or whatever. But if they don't, and they kind of try and bury it and move on to something else, that will be, again, like I said, you learn a lot from what the press, how they react to things. So I'm probably more curious to see what happens with that in particular than what's actually in the report. So the spin, as it were. But anyway, we're taking your phone calls. What do you think? What are your expectations of this? Do you think we're going to hear anything from the government? Anything worthwhile anyway? And looking to talk to you tonight. Phone number to call is 702-957-1037. Had a couple great calls to start us out tonight, and we're looking to talk to you. That's 702-957-1037. You can also join the Discord at troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link right there on top. You can't miss it. And the website is fixed, by the way. So if you haven't actually visited the website, now would be a good time because it's at least functional, and it's still under construction to some new things coming. So there we go. All right. So here's the deal, right? This is what we're talking about. This is what we're doing. Let's look at some more news. Look at some more of whatever is going on with this. This is from Scientific American, right? And this is written by a dude named John Gertz, and this is June 21st. And so, again, like it's difficult in normal times to find information about UFOs in the news cycle, right? However, not anymore. Not anymore. Like everybody, it's kind of the talk of the town, right? In some places, here especially. But here we go. So this is now. Not only do we have this report coming, we have like this is again from Scientific American, right? Like a pretty well respected journal here, where they talk about all kinds of things, but they usually don't talk about aliens. But here we go. This is from a guy named John Gertz, written June 21st, 2021, and the headline is this: Maybe the aliens really are here. And he says, but if so, it's probably in the form of robotic probes, something both UFO enthusiasts and SETI scientists should be able to agree on. And SETI, of course, SETI, is a search for extraterrestrial intelligence. I don't know, right? Like this is the type of stuff that's hitting the newswire right now. And what do we expect? I mean, maybe the aliens really are here. So here we go. So in the classic SETI paradigm, straight from the article, stars are observed for artificial signals, right? We've talked about this. ET technosignatures is what they're looking for. That's what SETI is actually looking for. But this communication strategy has severe drawbacks from ET's point of view. In order for us to succeed, ET would have to target each of potentially millions of promising nearby stars, including ours, continuously, and to do so over potentially billions of years. Additionally, it would need to maintain a dedicated receiver for each target star to be certain not to miss a return message if and when it arrives. And so this is valid. I mean, you can't scan the entire sky for an answer from extraterrestrials, right? And so it goes the other way. If they're out there looking for us, they would have to literally know exactly where we're at, right? Kind of just as a think about it in terms of like science fiction, right? Like let's say part two of Star Wars, right? It starts with them, the Star Destroyers, and they're throwing these Imperial probe droids all over the galaxy, right? To look for the rebel base. And so the reason they're doing that is clearly it's a resource thing, right? It's you can't put all the starships at every planet. You have to send out robotic probes to try and find things, to try and collect these signals, or actually get a camera down there, anything. You get the point, right? And this is what he's talking about, meaning that the aliens might not be in the game of kind of scanning the skies, but they might be in the game of sending out some sort of robotic probes to maybe do wide orbits around particular stars or things like this, right? And we saw one recently in the last couple of years called Oumuamua, if you guys remember that. We'll get to that after the break here, but some folks are suggesting that maybe this is where we're at. It's not flesh and blood extraterrestrials that we're dealing with. We're dealing with the alien probes that they're sending out as maybe mechanical or even biomechanical things. And so we'll get to some of that. There's, again, Avi Loeb's back in the news talking about Oumuamua, which is pretty cool. Again, if you have an actual noted astrophysicist, right? Actually talking about the possibility of alien probes. It's a good thing. It's a good thing, in my opinion. So we'll take a look at that in just a sec. But we are taking your phone calls. If you want to be part of the show, it's 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. You can also join the Discord at troubledminds.org. All right, so we got a couple minutes left, and we have a phone call. So we're going to go to this phone call right now, and let's see what's going on. Welcome to the show. You're on Troubled Minds with Mike. What's your first name, and where are you calling from? Hello.
Mike. Andre.
Sorry, go ahead. I barely heard you. Yeah. You're breaking up a little bit, but go right ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, this is Jennifer, and I'm calling. Oh, okay. I'm calling from Missouri. I don't know if my connection will be okay. I'm pretty rural.
You're good now.
Can you hear me right now?
Yep, you're good now. Go right ahead. Jennifer from Missouri. Welcome to the show.
Okay. I had to move closer to... Yeah, I'm under a tin roof, so I have to actually kind of stay close to windows, and I'm pretty rural, too.
Right on.
No, with the disclosure coming, yeah, I actually think that what they're going to say will be either nothing new or it'll be another lie. And I think that if they were, because if they told people what these UFOs were, they would have to tell them, basically, they've been lying about everything that we have, that we know in our world today. Because I think that these UFOs are not our technology or any other government's technology. I think that they could be coming, though, from another, like a hidden area of the earth, where, like hidden land, essentially, where other people or other entities are living. When you think about the term extraterrestrial ETs, you're having the term extra means additional, and then terrestrial means of the earth. So it would make a lot of sense that they've been kind of covertly telling people this, but not really anybody thinking it, but there might be hidden land, and that we're on a peninsula, essentially, of that hidden land for some reason. I can't imagine why, but that we are separate from a bigger earth that we're not being told about, and that these are drones from that region, and that's why they can make these fantastic maneuvers, because they're unmanned, and when they are manned, it's with a organic or robotic being of some kind. But that would only, because otherwise, these maneuvers where they drop from high altitudes into the ocean and then go under the water, or they come up through the water. Anyway, that's what I think, and I don't think we have this kind of technology personally. And I think that if there is possibly this technology, but it's with another people on some other, part of the earth.
Or possibly underground, like there's the Agartha and things like this, where people say that they've been underground for a long time and they're just hiding there, and they do it through the ocean to kind of go into their bases and things. And that could be, right?
It could be, and it could also be that the underground is technically that the shape. I mean, we know that the Earth is an oblate spheroid. They say that. So, I mean, this shape could be something like a donut. It could be a flat plane that goes on infinitely. We just don't know. But I guess to put it this way, just if they tell us what these actually are, then essentially they would have to tell us that would be all it would take, because you'd have to admit that's coming from here. And not here where we're at, but somewhere far, far away, also here. Anyway, though.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of, perhaps, yeah. And then with the underground bases, the idea of these underground bases, I think that could be us, but I think that we also probably didn't make it. I think that's the way that they can connect, and because I think the world leaders, of course, know about this other land, and that they have some kind of, they're responsible for the people in this region, and that they have a conversation, a dialogue, obviously going on, which would explain why many of these world leaders go to Antarctica. Like, for example, I think it was Kerry, went down there, and I don't know. It seems to me that that'd be the most. To me, it seems maybe. From outer space.
Yeah,
I think I'm somebody who thinks that there's water. I think there's water up there. So, I think all kinds of strange things. But it does appear that way.
Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off. We're out of time. Jennifer from Missouri, I appreciate the call. Great thoughts on all this. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for the phone call.
Great show.
Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Appreciate it. You're listening to Troubled Minds. This is Michael Strains. We're taking your phone calls, 702-957-1037. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting live from the secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness.
Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and hello to all of you who may also have troubled minds. This show is live. If you want to be part of the show tonight, the number to call is 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. We are streaming on Facebook, D-Live, and YouTube. We are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM. If you want to join the Discord, please do. That's another way you can be on the show. Aside from the phone number, go to troubledminds.org, click the Discord link. We got another Discord running as well for the Fringe. Go to fringe.fm/chat, and that will give you a direct invite. And I'm watching all of them. I try and watch all the chats, try and keep up with all you guys and all the smart comments. Lots of smart comments out there and lots of smart phone calls. That's what makes this show go round, guys, is all your fantastic takes on everything, all the things we talk about, which is, of course, aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, the government, academia, the 24-hour news cycle, and, of course, propaganda, and the general feeling that we live in the upside down. And so, of course, tonight and this week, probably, we're going to be keeping a close eye on the 180-day UFO report. It's on the way. It's supposed to hit any day now, and Friday's the deadline. It's June 25th, they say, is the day that this actually showed up and started, June 25th is the deadline. So we're supposed to hear something about this in the next couple days, according to Marco Rubio. He says it's done, and they're ready to drop this information any day now. So that means it might be early. It might be a day or two early, which means it's now. The time is now. So we're looking for your thoughts. What do you expect from this report? What do you think about aliens and extraterrestrials, UFOs, all this stuff, right? Like, in general, we had a fantastic call from Jennifer there just before we took the break there at the top of the hour, and describing how it's possible that whatever these UFOs are from a known place here on Earth, whether that's underground or a separate breakaway type civilization, or who knows, maybe I'm kind of putting words into her mouth to add other things here, meaning that like the elites are running some sort of something. Who knows? And we're just not allowed to know. Like Beechwood said when he called a little bit earlier, kind of curious what the difference is between like the private, the elite private industries and the government, and if there's some difference there between the UFO conversation. So in any case, we are taking your phone calls. We got a couple calls. We're going to go right to them. If you want to be part of the show tonight, we're talking the UFO report, 180-day UFO report. The deadline is Friday. So what's happening this week? It's here. What do you expect out of this? And what do you think about this UFO stuff? Do you believe any of it, or do you not, or whatever? It's okay. Again, we're taking all thoughts here. All thoughts are on the table as we kind of think about these things. So let's go to looks like Game Vet 02. What's up, my friend? You're on Troubled Minds. How are you?
Hey, good. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing good, my man. What do you think about this report?
Okay, I honestly think this report is a bunch of BS. The only reason why I say that is because, we have Corbell, we have news media. All of them are showing off either our aircraft or fake UFO video, or the UFO apps from online. You have the news posting, we captured this UFO, and showing video of UFOs when it's from a phone app. You have Corbell showing triangles, and they say, it's real video. Yeah, it's real video, real airplanes, because they have the same flash patterns as real airplanes, stuff like that. The deadline is this week, and what I find amazing is that I had a sighting on May 16th, which after I did some research, after I saw this thing, it was actually captured all over the world. It was captured in Canada by at least 2 or 3 other people the same exact day and time when I saw it, when I filmed it. Also in North Carolina, Utah. It was captured in the UK and just all over different parts of the world. And what amazes me about that is since that was so huge, nobody's heard anything about that. And one thing that I'd like to, I don't know if I have time to talk about this UFO sighting, but I think it's very strange that what I saw with my own eyes was not visible with 2 cameras I used. Plus I took photos of this thing because it was flying by so slow. And whatever this thing was, I can pretty much guarantee you it's not one of ours because it was basically a big vertical. It looked like a train floating through air, floating through the sky. And it was a big, long rectangle light. It had these black little square windows along the side, inside the light. Then it had this structure on top of the light with vertical black lines like paneling. And then to top off this bizarreness, it was actually emitting some sort of fog around this craft so that both cameras would not be able to capture the second half of the structure. It wouldn't capture the structure on top. Both cameras could only pick up the light. Then the cell phone camera, now this is a bright white light, okay? Then with the IR camera, I picked it up as purple because of the fog that was going around the craft. And then cell phone camera would only pick up the light as gray. And now I found a ton of videos, a ton of photos. People have been sending me in all sorts of stuff. Everybody's video and everybody's pictures from their cell phone, they're all gray. And that would prove that whatever this fog was turning the light gray in all the photos.
That's interesting.
And I think that story has more significance than anything that they'd ever come up with. But yeah, you don't hear anything about this particular sighting at all.
Yeah, and it's not the only one too. There's tons of compelling stuff out there where people are sharing photos and videos every day. You can find them on YouTube. You can go check out the MUFON archives, and they let you see like kind of a run in 2 weeks. There's some amazing stuff people are posting. But sorry, go ahead.
But this is very specific though. This is basically the same day at the same time all over the world. It was specifically on May 16th. At 12:45 a.m. all over the world. This wasn't like random, okay, here's a UFO sighting, there's a UFO sighting. This was captured all over the world on one night at the same exact time all over the world. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's huge.
So you would expect
it blows me away,
Yeah, you would expect to get media coverage on something like that, and it barely leaks out, right? And that's part of this. Part of the problem I have with this whole report thing, and the Tic Tacs. There's so many other compelling videos and things they could have released, and they released 3 of the exact same things, right? It's like, wait. It's almost like they're very tightly trying to control a narrative, right? By giving us only a very specific thing to look at. So I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Like, why isn't it getting wider coverage when these things do happen?
I think it's crazy.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
I don't know what the narrative is. I want to say though is, when this report comes out, I think they're just going to say, well, we showed you all the videos. I mean, didn't you see the Corbell video? And which was nothing. It was absolutely nothing. It was a kick in the face. It was just a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, I can sit outside for 2 hours and capture something better than anything they have ever put out, ever. You know?
Yeah, I've seen it. And if you guys want to check it out, GameVet here, GameVet02 has a channel, a YouTube channel. Go check it out. I'll link it. It's already linked to our YouTube page if you scroll down to the bottom. But he's got actual real footage of UFOs that he captures. He's a truck driver. He's got a dash cam going, and he's recording stuff all the time. And so you'd be amazed what you see out on the road on a nightly basis. They're out there, aren't they?
It's more. I'm capturing more stuff at home, sitting on my patio, than I am on the road. I mean, I could sit outside for 20 minutes on my patio and have my IR camera go, then I'll capture something. I mean, it's right there. But yet they're trying to show us these fake videos. Like, come on, man, seriously?
Come on, man.
Put some effort into it.
Exactly. Exactly. GameVet02, I appreciate the call, my friend. We got a call behind you. We got to go. Thanks for your input. Thanks for sharing your story. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yeah, you too, man. Thank you.
Thanks, bro. Drive safe out there. Drive safe. That's God bless our truck drivers, guys. He's out there making sure we get the things we need for people to survive, grocery stores and all this other stuff. So appreciate that, man. Thanks for the call. Let's go to Joe in Florida. What's up, Joe in Florida? Long time no talk, my man. You are on Troubled Minds. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Doing very good, thank you. Very well. What do you think about this UFO report?
Well, you know, if it's only going to be a limited amount of pages, I think I'd put it in chat. I think for all of us, it's preaching to the choir. I think we're all of the same opinion. For me, if they don't address... If you made a report, I guess you should say, if you made a report, you might want to give a little historical background. If the big crash at Roswell or Socorro or any of these legendary events that we think may or may not have happened are not addressed, what's good as a report? You have to ask yourself. And I've said this before on the show. What was one of the things that Donald Trump started that this administration hasn't taken away? That's the Space Force. So, you know, I try to make my own examples, but before 9/11, you had Rumsfeld saying we're missing a bunch of money. And then 9/11 happened. And then there was the rise of the security state. I wonder where that money went. New technology. So, you know, they need an excuse. I've said this before. I think there is something that exists out there, and I'm along with some of the other callers. The woman that called, you know, I think that it's local to this planet, maybe to the moon. So there is something definitely here. You know, I think that they are not interfering as much as possible. But when you look at the way our government acts, and when you look at what's been predicted and what Von Braun has said and everything else, not that you want to say it's Project Bluebeam, but maybe it is Bluebeam. I know myself, I'm tired of listening to politics so much that it's the same characters. You're tired of North Korea. You're tired of China. It's like watching a TV show, and you kind of get tired of the same 3 or 4 seasons with the same bad actors and characters, and you're just like, get over yourselves. So you got to create another boogeyman. A boogeyman that, you know, most of us here, we probably believe. Now maybe is the time, though, for them to do it, and they might be creating a smokescreen. Because maybe we do have technology that's advanced, and now it's going to be showcased very clandestine, and this report might also act as a smokescreen, if that makes any sense. You know, I know I've seen some things. I've seen the Chevron, flying by, and I thought that was ours. It looked like stealth technology, but it looked like it was a drone. I saw it fly right over me on the Mayaca River in South Florida. Thought that was ours, but I've seen other things behave, and I'm like, that's not ours, or not that we know of. So, you know, there's other things that I think we see that, like the triangles, a lot of those triangles And I know they're moving, but sometimes I wonder if we have some kind of a rigid stealth dirigible or balloon or target. And if it was a pitch black night and that thing had some kind of active camouflage, that could be floating over your house. You wouldn't even hear it. They could turn the lights on. Hey, look, there's a UFO. And then they could just shut the lights off from altitude and just kind of float away.
Yeah.
The report.
Go ahead.
You know? No, the report, I haven't been paying too much attention, because I know what I believe. I think everybody else that's listening knows what they believe. I think most of us, know there's something else going on out there that's probably been here since the beginning. And again, if they've been here since the beginning, for thousands of years, they probably only have a slight interest in us. Why farm us out now? We've been killing ourselves all this time throughout history. We've done nothing but murder ourselves. And not once has anybody stood up. You could make the argument that in the Old Testament, when Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, or the Mahabharata in India, you can maybe make an argument that back then was the last time there may have been any alien intervention. And there'd have to be some proof of that. Maybe we don't know it, but we suspect it, from what you see in the TV shows and the History Channel and all of that. But even if the government knows that, they're not going to tell us, ever. I believe, ever. It's never going to be told. We were brought here from Mars. That's where I'm at right now. That's kind of now another country. Maybe another country might spill the beans. I don't know. So it's an interesting thought process. You can go down a lot of roads. Schneider, there was, they're underground, and there was a skirmish. But again, why let us get to this level of technology to not, if you were going to do something, you would have done it by now, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. A lot there, a lot of good points. I think that, we're going to have this contradictory set of information is basically what's supposed to happen here. Very much like pointed out earlier, is they're going to contradict 75 years of a cover-up. And so just as a result of that, they can't make themselves look too stupid. So I don't expect a lot in that regard. But you're right. There's so many things that these could be going back a very long time. And think of it this way. And I think you're correct here. I agree with you that if they've been here for a long time, you can go back to the Old Testament, Ezekiel's wheel, and all this stuff, and you say that, all right, look, they've been here a long time and they really haven't meddled or cared about us. It's almost like they kind of haven't, So why would they care now? I think that's probably, I saw a UFO Jesus speculate on Twitter the other night that why would the aliens allow the government to smear them with saying they're abducting people if it was actually the government doing it? And I'm like, what? It seemed like a silly question to me. Like the aliens ever care about what our press says, you know what I mean? Or their image. I don't know. It was like a forehead smack moment for me. I was like, what? I know he's probably trying to be edgy and push the boundaries of the conversation, but I even made a snarky comment I probably shouldn't have, but anyway.
But you know what? And GameVet, I subscribed to GameVet just now too, but on YouTube, if he's listening, I hit the subscriber button. Could probably watch some videos while I'm at work. But I guess what I'm saying is, I think I heard the call. They said, it's going to be 73 or 75 pages. If it's going to be a minimal report, if there's not a linchpin in there, if there's not a historical basis that they can point to, they could show pictures again. They could show cell phone video and pictures all day long. Really, the one from Puerto Rico that I've been plugging for years, that one that's in Puerto Rico, that's better than all the other gimbal videos that I've seen. And that one had no fanfare, the one that was in Puerto Rico. That one was ridiculous, okay? And the one over Israel, if that was true, not CGI'd. But you could show those videos all day long. If you don't have a historical backing or a lynch or say that these things crashed, and we have entities, that's what I want to see. To make me believe that's what I want to see.
Exactly. Right.
Otherwise than that, it's just stuff flying around, and we're still chasing Foo Fighters, just with more money. I mean, when you play that video, or there was a video where the pilot says whatever they have is 100 to 1,000 years ahead of us, and it made me scared that we were defenseless. Why now? Every pilot goes up in the sky knowing that these things are out there. They're just told that if you don't know what it is, you don't report it. Nothing's not reportable. So those pilots are saying that on the air, on CBS, and all it sounded like to me was, we need more money. That's just what I kept hearing. We need more money. We need more money. We need more money.
Yeah. So,
and we do. And we do, because if there's hypersonic weapons, if our enemies are doing to us what we did to the Soviet Union, with our own money, by the way, then we need to catch up. And we see that the Navy needs to expand their ships compared to China. People have hypersonic weapons. There's a Space Force. What are we going to put in space if it's a Space Force? Are we going to put rods from God up there? Non-nuclear deterrence? What are we going to do? Because, again, I always tell you this, and we all agree. If we don't do it, somebody else will. So we need to have the money.
Exactly. Well, to me, it's a good start if the Pentagon stops losing trillions. Maybe that's a good start to the money problem.
Right. Exactly right.
Joe, we got to go, man. We got to go, my friend.
Senator. I'll let you go. Right.
By a senator. Yeah, exactly right. I appreciate the call. Joe from Florida, longtime caller. Don't be a stranger, man. Where you been? I appreciate the call tonight.
I listen, man. I listen. My schedule's changed. I'm tired. I'm watching playoff hockey. Vegas just scored, so I'm a big hockey guy.
Nice.
So really, I've been watching playoff hockey.
Nice.
But I listen to the show while I'm watching hockey.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that. So thanks for the call. Thanks for participating. Thanks for listening. Go Knights. Talk to you later, bro.
Have a good night.
Thanks, man. You too. All right. If you guys want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange, and we're talking about the UFO report. 180-day report is due by Friday. What do you think is going to be in this? What are your expectations? What do you think the government knows? And what do you know about aliens and UFOs? We have one call on deck. I see you there. We'll come to you right after the break. Don't go anywhere. More Troubled Minds. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and we are talking about the 180-day UFO report. What do you think about this? What do you expect? What do you know about aliens and UFOs? And what should we expect from the government? Word is it's going to be 73-ish pages, trimmed down to an unclassified version with 4 pages. We'll be all over it when it drops. I don't know what to expect other than, well, we'll see when it gets here. But, that's not good. That's not good. I think we just had the phone drop. All right, hold on. All right, so caller, hang tight. We're going to get to you in just a sec. The phone line dropped. I'll call back and we'll get you. But we are taking your phone calls as soon as the phone lines get back up. If you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And we're talking. Well, that's exactly what we're talking about. UFOs tonight. The 6-month report from the government, and it's due by Friday. It's already here. This is, as the Night Stalker says, it's the summer of saucers, and that would make this week the week of saucers, wouldn't it? This is the pinnacle of the summer, of the release and all the rest of this stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. We are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and DLive. We're broadcasting live on the Fringe FM and taking your phone calls. So if you want to be part of the show, I'm dialing back into the phone line there. So sorry to keep you on hold for just a second, but 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. I think we should be good to take this phone call. Let's go to you. You're on Troubled Minds with Mike. What's your first name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Mike, how's it going? This is Cole calling.
What's up, Cole? How are you, my friend?
Not too much. How are you?
Oh, doing good. Talking UFOs, man. Good. Doing what we love to do here. What do you think about this report and the whole UFO stuff?
Can you hear me okay?
Perfectly.
Awesome. So, honestly, I don't know if you've seen this video or any of the listeners have, but there's a video probably from 1949, early 50s. A general of the United States, he comes out on camera and starts kind of like talking about the government investigating these UFO sightings, all these different things reported from various people of different, walks of life, all the way to police, also military personnel. So you got this guy talking about that, and he's just kind of like, yeah, we know that they're not from our government, and we don't have anything that could do this stuff, but we don't know where it's from. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen with this report. It's going to be a repeat.
Yeah, just, because they've done this before, right? Project Blue Book was this extensive thing. They had like over 900 compelling cases and thousands more that they wrote off as something else. I mean, we've been here before. We've literally been here before where we're supposed to be told something, some revelation about ETs or something, right? We're supposed to be told something here that's going to make us at least raise an eyebrow. And I don't know. It seems like history repeats itself, and sometimes in a bad way. And I think with the government...
I was just going to say that.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I was literally just... You took the words right out of my mouth, man.
Yeah, well, and unfortunately, we'll see. Like, I hope I'm wrong. Like I said, like I am kind of a downer when it comes to this, only because I don't trust the government. I don't trust the things they say. I don't trust the things they do. Just look at the Fauci debacle. The guy flip-flops on himself every other week, and like nobody seems to care. And it's like he's still the best doctor on the land. It's unbelievable to me that they expect that we don't remember what they said last week when it's the completely opposite of what they said this week. And then we're supposed to believe whatever report they're going to put out is some kind of something new. I don't know. It is frustrating, is it not?
It's super frustrating, and I hope that we're both wrong about it, but I just don't see that ending in a positive note. Like, it's going to be the same as it always has. I just really have that gut feeling. They're going to say, well, we don't know what it is. They're not from us, and they're not, we don't think that it's from China or Russia. Okay, well, then what the hell is it?
Exactly.
They just keep regurgitating it over and over, man. It's ridiculous.
Well, in that statement you just made, we all already know that, don't we? I mean, it's basically common knowledge at this point. So we're waiting for a UFO report where they're going to give us the common knowledge we already know. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. It's sad, but on that note, what do you think they are?
I think. Okay, so I think that there's. Okay, I'm gonna ask you the same question after. So I think they are. The Tic Tacs that they're showing us, I think they're plasma radar spoofing, and I think it's a super top secret thing. If you look at Project Palladium, back to the Cold War, if you look at Nemesis, a more recent project for radar spoofing, we're talking about a highly advanced plasma that goes in the sky and not only fools radar and infrared, it fools the human eye. It can do all three things at the same time and more. That's what I think it is. The Tic Tacs, anyway. All right. Now the pilots are going to refute that and say it's not the case because they would never test it on pilots like that and kind of in the wild because it's dangerous and all these other things. But the government has done that type of stuff before. So like it's I'd like to think the government doesn't put our military in dangerous situations, but it's what they do all the time. So to me,
hey, do you remember those nuclear tests there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In Vegas out here, people used to, in the 50s, used to sit in Vegas and watch the nuclear explosions out in the desert. It's like, oh, okay, you're not going to put anybody in harm's way.
They had atomic parties, they'd have atomic cocktails, all that
exactly.
fun crap,
Exactly. So to finish answering the question there, so I think the ones that we're seeing from the government disclosure, I think that's a very thin slice of the phenomenon, okay? And I think the reason they did that is because they know what those are. And so they can actually control that narrative perfectly because they know what it is. Notice that we're not seeing, we do see the Tic Tac videos, but we don't see Go back to Project Blue Book. There's orbs. There's saucer shapes. There's cigar shapes. There's all kinds of different things that they're not even addressing at this point. So that makes me suspicious. So I think it's two different things. I think one, there's a slice of it that's ours, and I think on the other hand, there's a slice of it that may be something else. Maybe whatever you want to call it, dimensional. Maybe these could be life forms that we don't understand yet. Who knows? Like I'm open to all those things. Extraterrestrial, sure. But I think that they've separated it carefully so that when this report comes out, they could tell us a very particular thing about a very specific object and not the entire phenomenon. That's what I think. Now, what do you think? Your turn.
I totally agree with that, dude. The first half, definitely, the government has all sorts of top secret craft flying around that they're not going to tell their own people about, the lower ranks, and they'll put them in jeopardy and have them dogfight them, and some people lose their lives in these processes, and we hear about it, and we're just like, okay, whatever. We just kind of shrug it off, but it's not right, and they're lying about that stuff. So you're totally right about that. The second part, I have a problem with. There's so many options. I don't know which one to go with. It could be ET drones that they're sending through a wormhole. They don't want to travel here themselves, say, or they, can master space-time manipulation, so they send something through. On man, maybe it's a biological machine. Maybe it's kind of like iRobot built into a drone-looking spacecraft, and it can think on its own, independently, can conduct experiments and whatnot without them having to be here. That's an option. Maybe they're piloted by extraterrestrials. I have no clue. There's just too many variations and too many options that you can go with that we don't have any clue about, man,
But
I can't go with one or the other.
But you're open to all those possibilities, though, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Why wouldn't you be?
Yeah. I think
nobody knows exactly what it is. So
yeah, I think if you're being honest with yourself, I think you kind of have to be. I mean, the interdimensional stuff, actual straight old school ETs, like coming in some kind of craft that we can't. I mean, there's so many plot holes with all this. Specifically, think about it. We have stealth technology now, right? Like we can probably just flick a switch and almost do like Klingon cloaking type stealth technology. We don't know about it yet, but I'm pretty sure DARPA has something like this that exists. If we do, you're damn right the aliens do, or whatever these things are. So if they don't want to be seen, they don't have to be seen. So it's almost like they're, whatever they are, they're telling us they're here, right? Whatever's going on there, again, so many plot holes here. It just, a lot of it kind of doesn't make sense.
No, it really doesn't. It doesn't have a logical explanation, a straightforward explanation that we can just lay it out on the table and be like, hey, here's this, and this is exactly what it is. It's just so strange, so twisted. It's going to be a long time probably before we actually know anything about it.
Yeah, and we're going to keep asking those questions.
I'm not entirely sure what's going to be in this report, but
yeah, as soon as it hits, we're going to be all over it. We'll have it on the show. We'll talk about it. And if it's only 4 pages, we'll probably read the entirety on the show because, well, that'll take like 10 minutes or something like that.
Sweet. If I'm not at work, I'll watch it live. So
right
that's
on.
Awesome, man.
I appreciate it.
You have a good night, and all the listeners, you take it easy. You guys be safe, and we'll catch you next time, all right?
Thanks a lot. Yeah, I appreciate the call, Cole. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great night. Thanks for listening, my friend. There you go. You guys want to be part of the show? Easy as that. Great takes there. This is why we do it in this format. Why we've always done it live in the talk show radio format, because you never know. You never know who's listening. You never know who's going to call. You never know who has smart opinions on these things. And I've learned a ton doing this show, just kind of digging into all these kind of crazy rabbit hole type topics down the rabbit hole. But I've learned as much or more from the people that call into this show. And so, like I said, it's a two-way process. We get together, we have a conversation, the great conversation, as it used to be called back in the 50s, I believe, and it just continues. It kind of one conversation kind of morphs into another as we consider UFOs or dimensional things, or who knows, everywhere in between, right? We talk about ghosts and vampires and werewolves and all kinds of crazy stuff on this show. But tonight it's UFOs, and we have this report from 6-month UFO report that's gonna drop sometime this week. Friday is the deadline, and it is what it is. If you guys didn't hear it, if you didn't tune in early, here's a clip from Marco Rubio discussing what's going to happen this week when this report hits. Let's hear what he had to say.
This is June now. We're waiting for the hearing, not the hearing, the results from the report from the UFO.
I think they keep telling us it should be out any day now, so, I think we'll have more information, but I think at the end, I don't think people should be expected. It's going to answer a lot. There's going to be a lot of questions even after, and I think the gist of the report is probably going to be something like, these are documented events, these are the ones we can explain, these are the ones that we can't. But for me, it's about treating it seriously. This could be a foreign adversary with an advanced capability, and we can't get surprised by that.
We're not going to see a lot of retracted stuff.
Well, they're classified. It's not because they're keeping it secret. Well, they are, but it's not because they're hiding it from people. It's because they don't want people to know how they collected on that information. Like releasing it might give away some technological advantage we have, or the way we collect intelligence. So that's why they classify things.
And that's the only thing that scares the public, because we see that time and time again,
man. The way politics are now, I assure you, if they classify it something spicy in it, ain't no way that doesn't leak. You know what I mean?
Okay. Thank you so much, man.
If they classify something spicy, no way that doesn't leak. You hear that? Straight out of the horse's mouth. And in this case, the political horse is Marco Rubio. And there's probably other more appropriate terms to call him, but we'll just stick with horse's mouth for now, instead of, horse's ass, let's say. We'll try and be polite. But okay. In any case, what we're talking about is this UFO report. Marco Rubio seems to think if there's something spicy in that report, it's going to leak. Is that there's no way that this gets redacted and put into the classified version, and then the unclassified version, we get nothing. He's saying if there's something spicy that's in the classified version, it's going to leak. Somebody out there is going to put it out there and say, hey, look, this is what didn't get reported, blah, blah, so on and so forth. So anyway, if you hadn't heard that, that's from a TMZ tracking down Marco Rubio like a mouth-breathing stalker at the airport and asking him, which is why the audio is so terrible because, well, he's at the airport. And I think he had like a cell phone he was recording it into for the impromptu interview. But anyway, so looking to hear from you. We have about 15 minutes left if you want to call in. What do you think? What do you expect from the 180-day UFO report that's bound to hit this week? It's due Friday, and this is the week. This is the week. The culmination of the Summer of Saucers is right now. I was going to talk about something else tonight, and I couldn't bring myself to do it. I was going to talk about some other stuff, like the Ring doorbell. There's a whole bunch of Amazon Prime Day and all that. There's a whole bunch of dirty stuff going on with the Ring doorbell. If you guys hadn't seen that stuff, I was going to talk about that, but I just couldn't do it. I was like, this is the week. This is the week. I think we have to address this now and talk about our expectations before this thing comes out. So again, in December, packed into the COVID relief bill, they gave a stipulation where they needed a report. A government report on UFOs, all right? And it was 180 days to get it out, and that 180 day is on Friday, which is June 25th. So it hasn't, some people reported it was like June 6th or something like that. That was inaccurate. The actual day it's supposed to be due is Friday, which is coming up this week. So in any case, I don't know. Now, what do you guys think? If you want to be part of the show, like I said, we've got time for you. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Looking at the chat, looking at you guys out there, and just lots of good stuff. I appreciate all the smart takes out there, as always. Right, you guys are what makes this show go round. So let me shoehorn this in here. I kind of teased this earlier, but I think it's important to kind of maybe follow up on what Avi Loeb is talking about here, and not only that, Tom DeLonge, Avi Loeb. Like there's a whole bunch of new information that kind of came out this past just couple days. Again, like it's hot and heavy, this information from the UFO world. And so this is from Scientific American. No, which is this one? Where's the Avi Loeb one? There's an Avi Loeb one where he's talking about Oumuamua from being some kind of alien probe, right? Which is what he's been saying is kind of like a double down situation. But he's actually kind of saying, what if the aliens are actually here, right? What if they're actually here now? And part of that Oumuamua thing, if you guys remember, that's kind of cigar-shaped, spinning on three axes, elliptical thing that kind of came elliptical orbit, and anyway, that's a whole different show. But it was in the past year and a half, couple years, this went down, and it was the first interstellar object not from this solar system that they've detected. And Avi Loeb, of course, one of the notable astrophysicists in the world, has stated that he believes it's possible that this Oumuamua thing was, possibly a light sail, like maybe a remnant of an alien civilization that was kind of coming into our solar system as maybe a scout ship of sorts, right? And he wrote a whole book about this, and he's been on and on about this, and he's taken a lot of heat. But he's very high up there in the astronomy world and astrophysics and all this other stuff. And he's the chair of the Harvard. I can't remember his exact title, but this is why in academia you get tenure and you shouldn't have to worry about saying crazy things, making crazy speculations, because they won't fire you for being a nutter. And he's kind of the epitome of that. He's at the point in his career where he can say whatever he wants. And interestingly, that he's speculating kind of outside the box and outside what the general academic ideas might be, meaning that instead of this Oumuamua thing just being a space rock from somewhere else, he's saying that it's possibly some sort of a broken craft or a light sail, and then in this article that I can't find, that I'll pull up in a sec here, I'll find it as we finish up the top of the hour here, but he's describing that it's possible that the aliens are here and they're using these type of scout ships to keep an eye on particular solar systems or whatever it is, right? And which kind of fits with a lot of theories, right? It fits with a lot of the, like we've said, if you're going to travel vast distances in space, it's not feasible because, the average lifespan of a biological being is going to be short in comparison to the the travel time in space. So unless of course we're talking wormholes or exotic propulsion, things like this, it's a different story. But if you're doing it the old school way, even at the speed of light, it takes forever to get anywhere, like thousands of years to get somewhere. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the answers to these things. I'm just like you. I have no insider sources. I just watch the news cycles, pay attention to the UFO news. And, the information that comes from the government. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this other than I'm trying to not be so negative about it. I want to see what's in this report, and when it pops, we're gonna read about it. We're gonna talk about it. So in any case, still looking to hear from you. We've got a few minutes left. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And we've got a lot of clips here from the past where they're talking about this UFO report. Specifically, you remember they actually asked Joe Biden what he thought about UFOs, meaning they asked Barack Obama, and it was on some comedy show, and they made it out some laugh tracks, and everybody had a hoot talking about UFOs. Then they asked Biden afterward, if you guys remember this. Check this clip out. This is Biden at a press conference, and the last question to him is this:
if you're not asking me a mean one like you usually do.
It's something interesting, I think, that is not come up. President Obama says that there is footage and records of objects in the skies, these unidentified aerial phenomenon, and he says we don't know exactly what they are. What do you think that it is?
I would ask him again. Thank you. Come on, boss, let's go.
And there you go. Everybody claps. Yay. Ask him again. You guys remember that, right? Now, this is the type of thing, right? These are the type of mockeries that we are being made of for being interested in UFOs, right? And then, of course, we have what happened just a little bit before that, the actual White House press briefing with Jen Psaki, the redhead. You guys have all seen her. And she's talking about, she's... As usual, they have their questions prepped, right? They know which questions are coming, and they have statements based on these questions, which of course is dirty. That's not what a press corps should do, right? They're supposed to hold the administrations accountable. All administrations, not just the red guys, but not the blue guys. But the blue guys, they give them softball questions that they give to them in advance. And here's a perfect example of that. If you guys didn't hear this one.
Also wanted to ask you about a phenomenon known as...
the giggle gives away. I don't know what this question is. Let's see.
You've already ruined it here. But this is quite a serious issue. There are these unrecognized objects in U.S. airspace that are also known as unidentified aerial phenomenon, I understand. And I wanted to see, there's a DNI report that I understand is going to be released soon. Can the Biden administration commit to releasing it in full?
Well, that would be for a decision by the Department of National Intelligence to make. As you noted, we're aware of the report requirement, and our team at the Office of the Director of National Intelligence is, of course, actively working on that report. And we take reports of incursions into our airspace by any aircraft, identified or unidentified, very seriously and investigate each one. But ODNI would be working on that report, and in terms of disclosure, that would be up to them.
I guess in all seriousness, though, can you characterize the president's concerns about these phenomena? I mean, it is this concept of objects in U.S. airspace that are either origin from other nations or other entities, but what is the concern of the president that this phenomenon seems to occur in the national security apparatus?
Well, I think broadly speaking, the fact that we have a team that's actively working on a report, certainly the safety of our personnel, security of our operations, our airspace are of paramount concern, whether that is identified or unidentified aircraft. And we don't discuss that publicly for a range of reasons, but certainly the president supports the ODNI putting together a report and following through on that commitment.
Okay, so notice it was a very obviously prepared statement and a very obvious question that they knew was coming. So again, like these are the types of things in the news cycles that we need to pay attention to, right? It's not an honest representation of what's actually happening. It just depends on the administration, if the press is, friendly or not to the administration, lefty, righty, whatever you want to call it. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's the dumb game we play, and it's why we can't get good information, because everything is spun, everything's PR, and everything's what it is. But in any case, we're going to keep watching. We're going to pay attention to what actually happens here in this week, in the culmination of the summer of saucers. And that just means that this UFO report's it's due any day now. Friday is the deadline. They say it's going to be on time now. And so we'll keep an eye on this. We'll keep watching. And hopefully we have something substantial to talk about in a day or two or three here, because, well, that's what we do. We pay attention to this, and these things are important. If there's actual extraterrestrial entities hanging out, it could be a bad thing, right? It could be a good thing. It could be anywhere in between. And so important questions that people don't seem to really go after too much. But we do it here. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. At the end of this, we're done on Fringe. Stay tuned for Joe Roop Lighting the Void. If you're up listening on DLive, YouTube, or Facebook, stay tuned for a third hour of Troubled Minds. Be sure, be strong, be true. Thank you for listening. From our Troubled Minds to yours, have a great night. All right, you guys know the drill. So we are off the radio now. So if you can't You have the mouth of a sailor, let's say. Now's your time to shine. We're still taking your phone calls. We're going to do a third hour of Troubled Minds, and it's time to let your hair down and get rowdy. This is the hour where we just get silly, and just meaning that we don't have to be as professional. We can just say what's really on our mind. You know what I'm talking about? Wink, wink. If you want to drop the first F-bomb, you are welcome. But okay, so this is the thing, right? We're still talking about this 180-day UFO report due this week. What do you think? What do you what are your expectations here? What do you think the UFOs are? Do you think that it is two distinct things that like I suggested previously, or do you think it's something else entirely? We're open to all those things. I think you kind of have to be. You have to have an open mind when you're talking about unknown things. And so here we are doing exactly that. So phone number I'm going to leave up here, and we're going to take a 2-minute break. So we're top of the hour here, third hour, we'll take a 2-minute break so you can top off your drink, you can grab a snack, you can put the kids to bed, hit the restroom, do what you got to do. But we're going to be back for one more hour of Troubled Minds in 2 minutes, and we're still taking your phone calls. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037, and you can be part of the show that way, or join the Discord, troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link and get in here. Let's talk UFOs and this UFO report, and what are your expectations? What do you think this stuff is in the sky? And do you think that some of it's ours? Some of these UFOs might belong to us, or they might belong to ET, let's say. It's impossible to say, without actual knowledge of it. So anyway, that's what we're discussing, and that's what we're talking about. So don't go anywhere. 2 minutes. We'll be right back. All right. I'm switching from beer to whiskey. Beer doesn't do it. Empty calories. Can't even get a buzz until you drink several of them. It's not good. Switching. What's up, guys? What is on your mind tonight? We're talking UFOs. What do you expect to get out of this 60-day report? Or, sorry, I keep trying to say it improperly. What I mean is the 180-day UFO report. What do you expect to get out of it? Is it one of those, cloak and dagger situations where the government's going to do whatever the government's going to do, and government going to government or whatever? I don't know. Like it's up. I think there's a lot to be not hopeful for here, because of exactly like Matt says in the chat there. So glad we get a whole 4 pages. Exactly, and that's what the report is right now. That it's going to be. 73 pages is what I'm seeing, and it's going to be a whole 4 pages unredacted that we're gonna talk about, that we're gonna be able to talk about when it finally comes out. So I don't know. Did the Suns win? The Knights lost 4-1. Can anybody explain to me why the Habs, the Montreal Canadiens, and the NHL are called the Habs? What's a Hab? I'm not a hockey fan really, but I know they're called the Habs. I don't know. Well, what the hell does that mean? Anyway. All right. So we're still talking about UFOs, and we got some clips and some stuff to talk about here as usual. But I don't know. We'll see what happens, and we'll keep a close eye on this over the coming days. But looking to hear from you. If you guys have comments on this, I'll catch up on the chat. Read some chat now. Don't have to worry too much about being super pro here. Let's see. Let's go back to the. Let's see. What do we got? Kelly's linking some stuff. Maybe HABS is an acronym for something. Is it? Maybe. That's a good question. Tam trying to answer my question. I have no idea. What's up, Benjamin? What's up, Kelly? Actually linking some, check out those Tic Tac aircraft in the video. Benjamin says the government is the closest in the closet from telling us the truth, Mike. Yeah, I think so. I think that's the unfortunate part about all this. And says, Benjamin continues, don't trust the government. It's a great way to go and believe what you see and not what you hear. Amen to that. Vicky says, I agree. They are going to put us in the corner and not tell us anything. That seems standard, right? Seems like par for the course. And Kelly says, nobody puts baby in the corner. What's up, buddy? Cole says, good talk, Mike. Yeah, great call. I appreciate that call, man. Johnny says, hey, Mike, Ben Rich said we can take ET home and farther. Yeah, Ben Rich. I always say that's John Lear. I get that wrong. It's Ben Rich. UFO Joe corrected me when I was on his cast over there. He does a call-in show also. What's up, Benjamin says, I love Troubled Minds. I love that you love Troubled Minds. It's good stuff, man. Thank you for hanging out and spending your time with us. Benjamin says, the government kills, lies, and contaminates our planet. It's why aliens will be taking over soon. You can believe that. Yeah, right. What's up, Sonny? He says, hello, beautiful green man. Wow, love a date for real, And wow, really? Well, I can't wait. I love my new... What? Sonny, what are you talking about, man? Just reading the chat here. Alex says, alien races, saucer spacecrafts have been visiting and observing primitive Earth mankind for thousands of years since mankind lived in caves. And we've talked about that in the past of, have they been here for a long time? It could be. Here we go. What's up? Let's see. What's up? Jay says, drink like a sailor, talk like a sailor. Now's the time. NS says, Montreal Canadiens, a National Hockey League team whose nickname is Habs, short for Les Habitants. There you go. The early farmers of Quebec. Haberdashers. There you go. All right, Fred, thanks for hanging out, man. We'll talk to you soon. See you tomorrow night. We'll be here with Ash the Reptilian and doing some more crazy stuff. More crazy than this. But okay, so so thank you for looking that up. The Habs for the Habitants. I don't speak French, but all right, the Habs. Now I know. Kate says the aliens will probably make a better job of things than some of our politicians. Even if they're trying to eat us, they'll probably be better than our politicians, which is horrible, but probably true. Okay, so there's more here. There's plenty more. Let me see if I can find that article with Avi Loeb, and he's talking about some particular things. Like I said, I've got information I could talk about. I got clips I could play. I'd rather hear from you guys. So give me just a sec here, and let me find this article I'm looking for. There's I may have to look this up. Where did it go? I thought I had pulled it up and was ready to rock on this, and I can't find the article now. Actually, let's look at this. This is an interesting one. So it's kind of in line with what we're talking about today. It is from the express.co.uk, which of course is a kind of a garbage tabloid, but gonna drop it in here and give you guys the link so you guys can follow along. As always, like I said, I prefer you have my sources so you know what's going on and where I'm getting this. I'm not making up this information. But there we go. We got Kelly's in the thing, and we got Jay. So whenever you're ready, Kelly, go right ahead, sir. But we got this article here. Evidence is there. Rocker Tom DeLong says aliens are watching us and governments know. So I'm going to put this up on the stream, and I heard you unmute there. What's up, Kelly? How are you, my friend?
Good. How's it going?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Doing our thing, man. Talking about aliens and the 6-month UFO report. What do you think we should get out of this?
Same thing we've always got out of it. Nothing. A big fat sandwich. Zero sandwich, like you say.
Yeah, the nothing burger, right?
Yeah, nothing burger. There you go. But yeah, you're going to get 75 pages, and 4 pages we're going to tell you about what they've seen, and they come up to a conclusion. The other 71 pages will be black. That's what you're going to get.
Yeah, unfortunately. And so again, right, you would expect if they do something like that, like if they literally give us nothing substantial at all, that they're going to literally, people are going to start strapping on the tinfoil even harder, right? I mean, this is how you create unnecessary conspiracies, by not being transparent, even in the most minor sense. I mean, they could throw us a bone, couldn't they?
Yeah. I mean, they have. It's just how you got to take it. And, what people are trying to, trying to get out of this is just, people like us, that have been following this for, since for a decade, right? We already know what's going to be. We expecting what the usual of what the government puts out on this type of information. But like I was talking in Facebook, I had a quote. I stated that what department are they saying that is going to release this information? And when you play that video of that, what's her name? I can't remember. She's a speaker for the president or whatever, but she was saying it was from that the Department of Intel is all over it. And then she says they have a team, right? So I'm going to tell you that they're going to have a team, but the Department of Intelligence is going to go over what they want to put out, and then they're going to dedact all the shit that they're going to put out anyway. So, I mean, it's not really going to come from the Department of Intelligence. Department of Intelligence are the ones that are going to look over what is going to be released. That's the only thing that I get out of that.
Yeah, well, of course, which means that they're going to redact the hell out of it. And so, I mean, I understand, right? Like you get it too, the sources and methods. You can't just give up all the information because there's people out there on the ground, boots on the ground, risking their lives to get information out from inside places. And if that information gets out, or even a hint of it, that there's somebody in places where they shouldn't be, that's how people die. So I get that part, right? But you can't really just throw all of it under that blanket and say, well, sources and methods, and not tell us shit about it, I don't think it works like that.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't, and that's the thing too. So, and that's another thing. The way I look at it too is I'll take that as they know something, and they've been knowing something. Because if they're allowing to even talk about it, and even even if it's just a ploy to kind of cover up something, or that hey, yeah, we kind of looked at something, but we don't find anything. It's not ours, but it's it's we don't find it. It's somewhere else. Just their wording. So the way I look at it is they do know, and they've already done know. So one thing I would like to get into was what Jennifer from Missouri was talking about, which was pretty interesting to me. The theory she was kind of talking about is I've heard about it, besides, it's another theory besides the flat earth theory, but it's called the large earth theory. And it's more or less, saying that the earth is a little bit larger what they're saying. And that, there is other land masses that, that maybe that, there's other, people or other species or whatever. And if you really think about it, I mean, that's not a far-fetched thought, actually, because, how much water this planet has, how much vast oceans. Again, I was a sailor, so I know I've been on many deployments, and, even for an aircraft carrier that big, and how, and even though it does running off of nuclear power, and it could go on and on and on for, probably straight for a long time, for days and weeks or months. But you got to feed the crew, right? So that's why most ships stick around shipping lanes and close to the ocean or close to the land. So that way, that we're able to port or even do on reps, at middle of the oceans where we get fuel and supplies. But the thing about it is what hit me was when she was talking about that is actually I'm going to go back into the Sumerian, where Zachariah Sitchin in one of his books is called the Lost Book of Enki, and he talks about that the Earth after they were, because obviously they didn't leave, but they were breaking up like the Earth in regions, and I'm going to read it real quick. It's just that the first region is in the olden Eden lands, which would be like Iraq and everybody and everywhere else, in the Eden, is to establish for Enlil. That's the second brother and his sons to dominate. The second region is the land of the two Narrows, thereafter to follow for Enki and his sons to land to Lord. And the third region with the other two not mingling in the distant land for Inanna. That's their sister. The two brothers and the sister. That's his sister. And then the fourth region was for the Anunnaki alone, concentrated on the peninsula for the place of the chariots to be, which were, I guess, that's what they call their UFOs. They call them the chariots. But it's pretty interesting where, when she brought that up, because I don't know, that's actually, just like if you would consider Antarctica, because we can't, nobody can go down there. You can't fly down there. You're not allowed to go on a boat down there. So, yeah, it could be, these other places too, like, within history or something, or even they call mythology of, that landmass that was off, I think it was like England or Scotland. And they say that or Lemuria, I believe it was. But what's interesting about that too as well is that, when they had that Rendlesham Forest incident, the guy who touched that UFO, he was saying that he started seeing numbers as ones and zeros, and he started writing them down in the book. And when they deciphered it, it was actually like saying that it was, there was 4 places, and I actually did the I researched down that, and there was like, one in China, and I went to the maps, the coordinates for it, pinpointed where they're all at. And one of them was, though, the last one was like Lemuria, the island that's off of that place over there. I can't believe, I believe it's Ireland or something, or England. But yeah, and that was one of the coordinates. But yet, and it's been on maps before, but it's also been removed from maps. So that's another interesting thing, is why would that be? Why is it on maps, some globes and stuff years ago, but then it been replaced? And then you have this story from the Rendlesham incident over in England, and then that's one of the places, one of the coordinates that this guy started seeing from ones and zeros, from the binary code he was writing down.
Yeah, that's not. Is it Lemuria or is that Atlantis?
I think it's Lemuria.
Lemuria. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I believe that because Atlantis is it was somewhere else. They said between the two rocks or Gibraltar or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, I can't right now. But yeah, I believe it was Lemuria. I think it was the island it was.
Gotcha. Yeah, the Pillars of Hercules was the actual. Yeah. Yeah. So, let's see. Geomagician says Hi Brazil too. Yeah,
there you
heard
go.
That. Hi Brazil.
There you go.
That's it.
Yeah. And that's the interesting part about it was Hi Brazil. Like I was saying, was that they, it's been on maps before, and it's not like it's not been there, or is it an island that sinks or raises, or was it even an island at all, So that was pretty interesting too. That it's kind of that little theory that she come up with. It could be it could be that another area that we don't even know about.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. And so some other things too. So not even like maybe hidden land masses, but like I was saying, maybe the Agartha, maybe the underground stuff, maybe under the ocean. I mean, literally, they say that we've mapped more of the moon and Mars than we have of the bottom of the ocean. So it just makes perfect sense that there's places on this earth that, if they've been here, it's easy to hide. And like I said, they've got cloaking technology. I mean, they're like, how could you not? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, they're like, oh, we don't need that. No. Natives are going to shoot you down. You need that. You need that, right?
Yeah. So, to me too, like what Joe was saying earlier about the money that it's all about the money too. He was saying before the towers went down, that. And it was something like 3.2 trillion that what's his name was supposed to explain to Congress where this money went to. And I have a lot of theories about that as well. That that whole, I don't know if you call it a breakaway civilization, or if you want to call it that people just with money, because you really don't, people with that type of money like that, they don't need governments, they really don't. And like sometimes governments go to them, like you have what's his name, Bigelow, they've been working with him for decades, so, and he's not the only one. We talked about this earlier, like people that like craft foods and all that other stuff, like these people with money, right? They're part of all these secret societies or whatnot, they're coming up to these universities, Skull and Bones, all that stuff. So yeah, these people got money, they're into, they're all in cahoots together, so it's, why not? If you don't need to have that information rolling through the government's hands, where you have, these FIFAs, these things that you can, request from the government that they have to kind of release. Even though it is, they can release, they don't have to release it right then and there. And if you do get it, you're going to get, like I said, a black piece of paper. But the thing about it is, you go through these people and they don't have to explain anything to anybody.
Yeah, no, exactly. They're larger than governments. I mean, they don't have tax liabilities. I mean, there's that, and then there's the fact that they can do anything a government can do. Right? They can build their own navies if they want to. They can do all these things. They can have these secret bases that are miles deep and all this other stuff. I mean, look at Elon Musk and the Boring Company. Like if that's technology now. Imagine what it was, before it was public. They've been doing this stuff for a long time. So who knows? And you're right. And I've said this before, is that, so not just country-wise, like in governments or nation states, things like this, you actually have, like, Facebook is like a digital country, right? Because they're able to do whatever the hell they want, and they have no actual borders. Like they're from Australia, United Kingdom, they're in the EU, they're here, they're Canada, they're everywhere. So they're a country without borders, bigger than probably all the countries in all the land, right? They're probably that rich.
Yeah, I mean, their reach is beyond, and if these people are grouping up together, it's, there is no money. For them, I would say that they would just be like, all right, let's build it, and get these little workers to put them in there, we'll, pretend that we make some money and we'll pay them some fake stuff, and they'll buy our junk from us that we're having them work their whole life to produce. It's just a vicious cycle too. So that's a thing too. Are these people? Is it? I don't know. I'm trying to go down a different path here, and I shouldn't. I just want to stay on board here and get back to the story here. But in my belief, I don't believe you're really going to see anything. I'm not expecting anything. I wish there would somebody that would step up. And it's pretty sad that Marco Rubio doesn't have enough confidence in our intelligence system to even say. I mean, if he's saying something like that, that's a political figure, right? That's he's a public servant here, trying to tell us. Yeah, I don't trust that top secret there is gonna that top secret there. It'll be leaked anyway, so you're gonna get the information. To me, that's ridiculous. It's almost like a slap in the face for one, and if that's the truth. Yeah, that whatever information is going to come out afterward is just going to be probably misguiding anyway. It's just more of the same,
Yeah, it is a shame. It's like clearly, like you said, in this political climate, he's saying basically somebody's going to leak it, and there's nothing you can do about it. And like I said, like what are the implications of that to people like Julian Assange? Like that everybody else is leaking information all the damn time from the inside, and nobody gives a damn. And Julian Assange has been locked in a closet for years. it's just unbelievably stupid and upside down. Not to derail it to there, but yeah.
That whole story with Julian Assange, what pisses me off about that whole thing with him though, because he's a true patriot. If you really think about it, I mean, but he wasn't the one that went and got this information. People were just giving it to him, and he had it. So why should he be getting thrown under a jail? You know what I'm saying? And the government's way worse than about that. And not all that information's already released.
Yeah, exactly. I could see like a different instance in like Snowden, who worked for the NSA and basically stole that information as a contractor and then went and sold it to China and Russia. Like that's a different story to me. But like you're right, like Julian Assange, he had sources. He had people inside giving him the information to stay anonymous, and he took the fall for it. And it's not right. Like again with Rubio saying, "Oh, it's going to leak." Like, really, bro? Like.
I know, man. Really? So that's just really telling, so I guess we are getting leaked, or we're all this stuff that they're saying really is probably happening. And if we're that sorry shit, they're breaking into the oil line, and all this information that's being stolen from China. And man, come on. I mean, you work for the government, dude. Jesus, this guy's a piece of shit.
Exactly. At least have some faith somewhere. Awful stuff. So what do you think about the theory? I know you've heard this before, and we've talked about this before, but where there might be two different things. So like I've suggested, maybe the government is kind of cradling this in a particular way with just the Tic Tacs, because they know what they are, and they're trying. Then they can kind of control everything about this because they know, instead of something like Blue Book where they went and were talking about all these different phenomena, the different crafts, again, the orbs, the saucer shapes, the cigar shapes, all kinds of things that were happening, the swamp gas and all that stuff that they called it. But But do you think it's possible that they've kind of sliced off two different things here, and they're trying to control the narrative with the one they know what it is, where they're kind of ignoring everything else right now?
Yeah, I mean, when they did that, I think they finally realized that they put their foot in their mouth, because it's right. You're correct by saying that either what do you got? Either you're saying that it's really real and that we did an investigation and we didn't really find anything. That is come on now. So you're gonna put this whole charade on for a whole year, right? And everybody knows there's UFOs, and everybody's seen them. You don't even need their little fake. I call them little fake videos that they had with the Navy, with the guys. The pilots. Sounds like a bunch of guys playing the video game.
Dude, yeah, yo, bro, it's a UFO. Yeah, I remember.
The airwaves sound like. I've been with the helicopter pilots. I hear them all the time. They're not yelling dude and talking all like that shit. Those airlines got to be clean. And when you do come out, you got to, make sure that, they're listening to you as well, because there's other comms going on. But yeah, to me, that was garbage, and the disclosure is going to be happening with shows like this and other people that have got, their own stuff that's being put out there. There's the videos I post, the one that was telling you, Part 22. That was one of the best ones that has all those, and these are all in 2021, which is pretty incredible. But the videos that these people were catching, the first one that of every show, and it looks like a pill shape, like a Tic Tac, but the thing is not flying like how they show in the videos. This thing is actually spinning in a circle and just moving across the sky, kind of, and back and forth. That's what it looks like it's doing. It's spinning and then it stops, or goes into a single, a ball, and then goes back into a into a Tic Tac form. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty interesting. Again, there's no commentary to it. It's just videos from what people sending in, and that is it. And then then they go to the next sighting. But these are all in worldwide, and those Tic Tac type shaped things are not just United States by any means. Those things have been seen everywhere. And there's also theories too that they were I don't think it was plating, it was Andromedan ships, or we have even heard them say that those were reptilian vehicles or whatnot. But that shape and form has been seen coming in and out of volcanoes in Mexico. For me, if you're going to get disclosure, I would like to build, I would like to get a team together, even if you have money, or even try to get loans from, somehow saying it was a business loan. But you set up these cameras in all these hot areas, known the one that's over there where you see, where they have a camera. And the only reason why they have it on this volcano, because it's really active. But I would put it on the rim of these volcanoes, or as close as you can, where these things are, known to come in and out of, or the coastal areas of California, the high mountains of all these other areas, and just leave them there, but high tech. So they're spinning. You're getting all 360 degree, and you can actually do tracking down. You should even do satellite system if if you can get that passed through the government, where you can, track that stuff, kind of like Google Earth.
Yeah. Well, and that I agree with you. So we don't 100% all that stuff you just said. We don't need the government to tell us. We have the tools now, and look at this, free communication while it still lasts, by the way. But we're able to get together and do exactly this. I think you're right. I think disclosure is probably more likely to come from something like this, like a group that gets together and shares their videos and talks about these things and does, like you said, some sort of scientific experiments where we're, watching these particular hotspots all the damn time. We have the technology. It's cheap now. It's much more accessible than it's ever been. So maybe you're right. Maybe we should try something like this. And maybe, we have people that listen all over the world, and I'm sure there's people that live near hotspots. Maybe we could, I don't know, just kind of just an initial thought. I'm not sure how or what or why, but maybe this is a possible thing that maybe something as small as our little group here might be able to pull off. Who knows, right?
Yeah, instead of having all these people that are always, what's funny is I see these researchers and archaeologists and everything else where these people are, giving out their information, but it's not like, it's hardly, it's happening now more, I would say, but I would say before, though, no one was sharing any information. They just always trying to make a buck or whatever, you know what I mean? But I don't see any, like, a group people, like, really actually doing that. You heard of, like, what was the group, SETI or something like that? SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. People have been compromised throughout the years. Throughout the years, these people, compromised, or even like, the other ones where people have to send their UFO information or their sightings and stuff.
Move on.
What do they, though? It's not like, I don't hear anything from these groups. Like, yeah, they have it. They send people to investigate, but what are they really doing with this information? Are they really coming out? Are they making, a book, video? I mean, most people now, if you make like some type of video or a type of, a documentary or something where, people can get their real hands on this type of, all this information, not just some of them where they think it was great, you know what I mean? But, or, it was too great, maybe you shouldn't even put that out. Being compromised, you just can't be compromised. You can't let yourself be bullied by, these, I'm going to call them corporations because that's what they are. That's what, the United States government is a corporation, even says itself. But yeah, you gotta find some way, a group like that, to be able to do it, put all the, because if everybody puts even in like 10, 20 bucks, you can start one of those pages or whatever, that these people are doing that, collects money. But even that, because people around the world want to know. It's not just, this phenomenon is not just like, oh, you're crazy, or, I believe now people are catching on and want to know. It's not just, scared to know. They want to know.
Yeah, there's answers to be had here, and I agree 100%. Maybe I'll see if there's something that maybe we could do. Maybe there is there are good organizations out there doing stuff like NUFORC, NUFORC is the National UFO Reporting Center. They are not MUFON, and so their data is up there for everybody to see. They don't paywall anything. Those are the types of institutions that people should be getting behind. And you're right, it's all possible. Like with the internet and like worldwide access to people coming to a particular website or a show like this, we got people listening all over the world to us. It's available. I think maybe you're right. I'll try and if anybody has ideas, something we might be able to do. Something like that is valuable. It becomes scientific, like a science sort of situation where people are directly reporting without filter, without paywalls, without getting your crap monetized and put on the History Channel, right? Without your consent type of stuff. Like it can be done. I agree. I'm not sure exactly how yet. It's just kind of a thought that you kind of put into my ear right now. But I think maybe you're right. I think maybe we could look into something like this in the future and possibly get something done. I agree. Definitely good stuff, man. So if you got a guess on this stuff, so you think the UFO report's going to be a nothing burger, and then beyond that, what happens after the report? What do you think goes down? Do you think the media, how do they react? Do they freak out, or do they try and kind of sweep it under the rug because it's embarrassing and there's nothing to really show?
Okay, so I think that it's going to be a nothing burger, more or less. But at the same time, this is going to be a jumping point for them to get more money. Like the other guy was talking about too. I can't remember who it was, Beachwood or somebody. But there's a jumping point that they're going to need money, right? And again, like the other, they were saying too that in the conversation earlier was that they didn't do away with Donald Trump's Space Force. They want something. So it's now, instead of like just saying, oh, we just lost it and leave it as that, because now everybody's catching on and being, we're questioning, the people are questioning the governments and they don't like it. You know what I mean? Because and people are getting behind that, those types of push against them. And now, so what do? You create something else, a new branch of a military that needs more money. And they're on a seriously, if you want to go to outer space, if you really already have these type of technologies, and you're going to say, all right, this is our new Space Force aircraft, we've We actually been working on it. You know, we'll give you a time frame, some cheap time frame, and then you know this is our reaction to the action of these Tic Tacs that we saying that we don't know what they are. Can you see that? You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. That's where the government likes to do, and they have done before. You create a problem and you create a solution to that problem, right? So it's always something. You hype it up to the government or to the mass media, or, you know, the garbage media that everybody, you know, seems to. I don't know why they seem to like that's the only, you know, place to get information from. But yeah, even from the government, it's all been lies. Like the other, there's been people talking about it in the chat that, you know, there's nothing gonna. I don't know why people want to think that they, you know, that there's. It's because they're always going to tell you that it's secret for another. What's top secret for some shit for you know the security of the United States. But it's beyond that now. You know, this is a global thing, and this has been a global thing. We're all human beings on this thing, and if there's something that's deep down that's controlling these governments, why wouldn't we want to know? You know, you've heard that story too of like, you know, there's something underlying on the underbelly of these governments. You know, you know, it's like a perpetrating, you know, the things that we think that they're helping us, that they're here for us here, or they're, you know, they're doing everything for their own countries. But I believe my own, you know, through what I research, I believe is something else. And you know, if the thing is going to go as what I believe, this is a launching point for more money. This is where they're going to actually maybe even say, you know what, these are our new aircraft that we got, and you know, this is the capabilities of them. They probably won't even tell you the true capabilities of them anyway.
Yeah, no, of course not. That would be, again, national security, right? That's what that would be. It is frustrating. Like I said, it is only a little bit exciting to me because we're going to get something. Though I'm predicting I'm going to be shitting on it, the 4 pages as the nothing burger that it is. It's unfortunate. That's my prediction. Again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope to be wrong about that. You know, I want to see, you know, the Pleiadians are here on page 1, page 2,
yeah.
Right there. Yeah. Something like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, man, come on, just tell us, all right? These guys, people who have been coming, you know, or say, hey, I don't know, the stories that we've heard, you know, through the UFO, you know, stories, I would say, like, there's ones that, like, these people came on a planet-sized, you know, their whole society, and they need a place to stay, so they, you know, here on Earth, that we're going to share with them. I mean, we can't even get along with humans, so if they're going to try to say that, you know, that, I would like to see that. I'd like to see this is their aircraft, this is their, you know, they're sharing for us to, you know, have them live here, you know, obviously they're going to share technology, blah, 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 but for what country? You know,
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's the, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So you know us. We'll be all over that the second it hits. If it's tomorrow, we'll talk about it tomorrow. If it's Thursday. If not, like I said, I'm willing to do a special show on Friday if it hits Friday. So we're definitely going to talk about it this week if that report actually comes out. So we'll keep an eye and we'll be all over that, my man. You know what we do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't try to be a negative part about it, but, you know, like I'm actually hopeful that, you know, maybe someday someone's got the balls enough to stand up and tell you, hey, this is what it is. This is really what's going on. I need to tell you right now, even if they try to cut my mic off, blah, 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 you know, something. Give me something.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Somebody's like, I have to say it, like they get tackled and dragged off, like mid-sentence. He's like, the Pleiadians are here.
Yeah.
Crack myself up.
All right, man. I don't want to take up too much more of your time, so I just want to say, you know, everybody have a good night. And, you know, hopefully we do get something instead of just the same old thing of the same old thing. And you know, just hope. I'm hopeful, but my real feelings is telling me it's the same old. don't get killed. So.
same old thing all over again. All right, Kelly from Colorado, I appreciate you spending time with us. Thanks for your input. Hot shit as always. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thanks, bro. Have a great night. There you go. That's Kelly from Colorado, and he's a longtime caller of the show. Let's go to Jay. Jay in New York. What's up, my man? You're on Troubled Minds. How are you, my friend?
I'm great, Mike. I'm just. I think they got to go one of two ways with it. Either just got to like rip the Band-Aid off and be like, page 1, these guys are here. Page 2, these guys are here. We're food for half of them. We've been trying to keep it quiet for a while.
Page 1.
People don't freak out.
Right. Imagine this. This would be sick. Page 1, gray aliens. Do they eat people? No. Page 2, the Pleiadians. Do they eat people? No. Page 3, the reptilians. Do they eat people? Yes. Right, or whatever it is. Like I mean, exactly. that's like an X-Files like wet dream type of movie situation. It's never going to happen. But I mean, like we can hope, can't we? We can.
I mean, well, as a matter of fact, the great big huge star fight is going to start right on the supermoon for the strawberry moon that's coming, the last one of the year. So at least you guys can go out and watch it. You got about 3.5-4 days before it really happens. You know, it's coming. The asteroid's coming. The Rubio is real. You know, the giants, the whatever, you know. They could tell us whatever. This Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is real.
Right. Like Daryl said earlier, it's Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny all in one. Yeah, I don't know. So what do you think? Do you think the government would, for instance, in my theory about the plasma radar spoofing thing, which there's evidence to back that up, by the way. I've done shows on it in the past. But do you think that the government would put our pilots at risk by testing something like that on them?
They do.
Right? They do, right?
I mean, you go all the way back to like Chuck Yeager and all those guys. Give it a whirl, dude. You know? Ash was talking on his show. Sorry. I'm still getting over the sick.
You're good, man.
But the bell thing, the Nazi bell that, you know, they said was a saucer and all that with the cameras and all of that and that. Could you go ahead, dude? All you gotta do is go in there and push start. Take it off. Go to a whirl. Try it. They've been doing it forever, you know. The first guy that got into the SR-71 or, you know, the XB-70 or, you know, any one of the rockets. Sounds like a great idea, man. You want to be the guy? What the hell? Are you going to take care of my wife and kids? I'll give it a shot, you know.
go to some other star system or whatever. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you look at the guys back in like, you know, 60s, 70s and stuff like that, you know, supposedly going to the moon, you know. Well, we think it'll work. I mean, if you're off a fraction, you're missing your crap by a mile, you know.
Yeah.
Miles.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what do they say? What did Han Solo say? Space travel ain't like dust and crops. It is, right? Yeah, I don't know. Like this is, it's exciting, and also at the same time, we know what we're going to get, right? All of this. I mean, and then we have to try and parse all the Bob Lazar stories, and, you know, some people say he's an absolute fraud. Other people have said that you know, some of the stuff he said has been corroborated in some cases. I don't know. I mean, Tom DeLonge is saying they had advanced propulsion that you blast with terahertz technology and it loses mass. Remember that? I don't know if you remember that. Like, he was saying that back with when To the Stars Academy launched, saying that you blast it with some sort of terahertz frequency and the thing actually loses mass, and as a result can float, can be like an anti-gravity device. So he was talking about this like 2.5-3 years ago. But again, if this is the case and we know this exists, where are the spaceships? Where are the flying cars? Like where? Again, if we know about this stuff, isn't it more and more likely that these things might be ours?
We might have to train our mind to be able to work them. You know, we might have that technology. We might be able to produce those kind of things and stuff like that. There was a movie back in like the mid 80s or something like that where these kids got visited by aliens, and they took one of those, the coaster cart from the spinny thingy at the carnival, and they made a little thing, and they went over to another universe and everything. Do you remember that? They made a bubble. They made that.
I don't recall. No.
It was a campy 80s space movie. A bunch of kids that were out in the treehouse got alien thing, and the one kid came up with a drawing, and they put it on a crystal, and the next thing they know, they had a bubble that could go anywhere they wanted. So they made a little spaceship, and they set it inside the bubble.
It's vaguely familiar from what you're describing. If it's an 80s movie, that's been a long ass time ago, man.
We were kids, man. We were really. I mean, I'm almost 50 now, and I was probably maybe. I don't even think I was in the Boy Scouts yet, so under 10.
Okay.
So
yeah, I don't know the movie.
It's old, but it doesn't matter. But the thing is, though, is like the truck driver, Game Vet, right?
Yeah, Game Vet. Yep, Game Vet 02.
He was talking about all the things that are coming up on their things, this little orbs, and I was thinking about it, and the thing that got my mind going about it was like, well, all you need is the orb. It doesn't really matter what your ship looks like. If you can generate the orb to bend the time and the dimensions and stuff like that to get to where you need to go, all you really need is the orb. And then you look at the ghosts and the paranormal and all that stuff, and there's always orbs there too, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe we're just missing it, you know? Maybe we're just missing it. 4 pages. Hey, guys, this is how you do it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know, man. Like we're about to find something out, but what it is, I don't know. Larry's got a great comment here. He says they can't reveal their involvement without being guilty of crimes against humanity. And that right there says a lot, I think. It's
right on.
What if they're in league with these, whatever the hell they are, right? The people that have said they've been abducted, right? And who knows? I don't know. Like, again, speculation here. I have no idea. Is it Flight of the Navigator? Metal Dog says, is that the one?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember.
That sounds really familiar.
The bubble?
A bunch of little 80s kids, you know.
Yeah, the way you
just kind of a Stand By Me kind of thing, you know.
Yeah. NS also says, I can pee on an ice cube and it will lose mass. So there you go. We have some other magic going on in the chat. Hey, enough with the jokes. You're going to kill Jay. It's unacceptable if you kill Jay.
I'm sorry. My breathing is just getting back to normal.
It's okay.
It really is.
I'm just joking, man. I'm just joking.
That was bad. It was bad. It really was. That's, whatever that thing is that's flying around there, you don't want it.
Did
you make it, but you don't want it.
Did you get tested?
That Q-tip from Walmart said plus.
Oh, okay. So it is what you have, and it is a nasty bug.
It's not, well, the Q-tip before graduation with the kids and everything else like that said negative, but getting over it is getting over it.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. Okay. So you're doing all the things you're supposed to do? Taking the things you're supposed to take?
Yeah. Be eating, right? Drinking lots of water and stuff like that, living like a healthy person.
Okay. All right. I'm just checking, man. I worry about you. Man.
Well, I worry about you too, man. You had your bathroom flooded. Did Luna chew the hose on the bottom of the thing?
The little thing that goes in the toilet is like the back tank, and not to bore anybody too much, but there's like the little thing that regulates when the water fills up in the back tank. that thing just
Broken.
broke. Yeah, it broke. So I just had to replace it. So it was easy, but it's just one of those things. If you don't do every day, you're like, oh crap. Now what? So I found an article online that described what the problem was. That's not my expertise. Clearly, look, see all the digital shit, the bubbles, and that's my expertise. I'm a good tech head, but like working on toilets is not my number one. That's not what I usually do, but I can do it. But anyway, it's all fixed.
Everybody can do it.
Yeah, it's all fixed.
Everybody can do it.
It's all fixed.
It's easy.
It's all good. So he's talking about we had to cancel the news show yesterday because the back tank of the toilet was overflowing. So, but it's all good now, just like new. Okay, so back to this now. Now with this UFO report, like I said, we're going to be all over it the second it comes out. What's your prediction? What are you predicting is in there? And like the same question I asked Kelly. First, what's your prediction? And then second, what do you think happens after it comes out? How does the press react? Do they try and like pump it up, or do they try and sweep it under the carpet?
If they pump it up, they're trying to bury something else. I mean, I really think we're trying to bet on a trifecta and make sure we box it up in all the possible combinations. Because, the nothing burger can be there. They're going to have to tell us something. It's too late. It's too late. They've got 4 pages on you, Mike, for crying out loud.
Probably more than that.
I mean, seriously, think about it. Censorship and all of everything else like that that's going on. I mean, not to bring it up or anything else like that, but we know people that's happened to, and so there's more than 4 pages on that person.
Yeah.
You're telling me since 1947, or Ezekiel's wheel, if we want to get serious about it, or you can go back into the Hindus with their pyramids and crap,
Right.
But 4 pages. y'all just be dicks now. Sorry. I know we're off the air, but it's the same way that I got messed up when we were talking about a different conversation. I said, y'all got freaking caught, They're just being dickheads to us. Really. Come on.
Right. Kate says that the thing in the toilet's called a ball cock. and NS who says NS says ball cock sounds naughty. Yeah, hell yeah, it does. And then I don't know what it's called. What's the thing called in the toilet? Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so
Fluid Master. What you need is the new Fluid Master, the thing that shuts the water on and off.
There you go. Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Right? So we're still talking about toilets, but where's our flying cars? It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
I want to ask about the bird too, Mike. I know some people are curious about the bird.
Don't ask me about the bird. Don't ask.
All right. That's what I asked. That's what I told you to tell me if it was the way that it was.
Yeah, don't ask about the bird. We did our best for the bird. Yeah, so I don't know. Let's just say the bird is not a ball cock. Kate, the ball cock. Yeah, all right. So I don't know. Like I said, we'll keep an eye on this as this develops. This is the week. This is literally the culmination of the summer of saucers. It's supposed to happen this week. It's this 180-day report is going to launch Friday, or sometime before Friday. Marco Rubio said any day now they're expecting this. So what do you expect? What are your expectations, guys? Again, kind of think of it in terms of 75 years of lies. All right, from the government, clear cover-ups on from Project Blue Book to Grudge and Sign and all these other, actual UFO projects that they've done over the years, and they haven't told us a damn thing. And so, unfortunately, other than cover-ups and spins and swamp gas and ball lightning and all the other garbage they tried to tell us, it's not okay. It's not okay for them to give us a bunch of nothing and then expect to get away with it. So here's what I'm hoping for. They give us nothing, and the nothing is so embarrassingly nothing that it creates an outrage, right? Like it literally blows up in their face. That's what I'm hoping for, right? How dare they give us nothing that people freak out about it, and everybody's like, come on, man, really? Like, this is crap. Like, that's what I'm hoping for. I think that's probably the best case, in my opinion, of what happens. Is it kind of like the Streisand effect, right? Like like if you try and hide something that everybody's interested in, it just blows up even harder and bigger. So I'm hoping that's the case here, that we have something like that happen instead of it's nothing, and then the media sweeps it under the rug and then moves on, and they pretend like it never happened at all. I'm hoping that's the case. We'll see. Metal Dog says she's right. It's called a ball cock. A ball cock, 100%. All right, we've digressed into the filthy third hour of ball cocks and whatever else is going on. All right, this is it. This is the week. Matt says this is the week, fam. This is the week. This is the culmination of the entire summer of saucers this week, guys. So we're gonna have Ash on tomorrow night, and we're gonna talk maybe more about this. Now we go to the moist ball cock. Oh, geez. All right, so we're going to have Ash on tomorrow night, and we're going to talk about more of this, and hopefully the report hits. Hopefully it hits tomorrow sometime, and we can talk about it. If it hits at showtime, then we'll have to do it on Thursday. But yeah, so anyway, I don't know. Predictions? What do you think is the best case scenario here, Jay, as we finish this sucker up?
I think they're just going to give us enough to embarrass themselves. I mean, I agree with you. I do. And it's going to take, the storm Area 51 where they made the, Air Force commander come out and say, don't do it. We're going to shoot you.
We're going to shoot you.
It really is. It's going to come. I really think it's going to be just, yes, there's aliens. We really don't know a whole bunch about them. And we've got some, but we can't tell you nothing because we don't know nothing either. And there's 75 pages of redacted crap to hide, 50 billion pages of stuff that nobody will ever see.
Yeah, I forgot who made the point, but I think it was Beechwood that said, your invoice at anywhere is going to be longer than 4 pages. Your oil change invoice is longer than 4 pages.
CVS, man.
Yeah.
You ran out of toilet paper, go to CVS and buy a stick of gum.
Yeah.
You have enough for a week.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Jay, I'm gonna mute you. Don't go anywhere. We got Tam Bam. So actually, I'm not gonna mute you.
Awesome.
You stay here. We're gonna bring Tam Bam on, and then you stay here. We'll still do the outro with Jay. Okay? You got a quote tonight?
Yes, I do.
Okay, sweet. So don't go anywhere. I'm not gonna mute you. Let's bring Tam Bam in. Tam Bam, you're on Troubled Minds with Jay and Mike. How are you? Uh-oh. You jumped out. Let's try that again. Oops. There we go. How's that? Tam Bam, do you copy? No. Tam Bam, do you copy? Test 1, 2. Hello. Earth to Mars.
Hard talking in South Africa.
Totally.
Hello.
Yay. Good morning, Tam. How are you?
Hi.
Hello.
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. Thank you for asking. Thanks for waking up early and joining us. Have you been listening?
As always.
Thank you. Have you been listening to the UFO conversation? And if so, what's your opinion of this stuff?
I'm excited. Seriously, I'm super excited. Because finally, right? I mean, it's been 100 years. Finally. But the question is, how much are they going to release? I find it difficult that they're going to release or actually more than anything, because it's really an admission of guilt and lies that they've been telling us for decades now. And they're not going to want to be held accountable for all of that. So it's going to be they're going to give us, if anything, they're going to give us a lot of information without saying anything, if you know what I mean.
I hope so. So I agree with the not saying anything part, but I think about it. It's a rock and a hard place for them, for the government, because like you said, if they put out anything meaningful, they're backtracking on, like you said, 100 years of cover up, basically. So it makes them look like a liar. So I think they have a really thin tightrope to walk, because they have to keep us pacified. If they don't, they're going to piss us off if they give us a bunch of nothing. But if they give a little too much, they make themselves look stupid. So it's kind of like a tightrope political situation for them. It's like no win, right? If you give a little too much, you make yourself look stupid. If you don't give anything, you make yourself look stupid. So I think that, they know this. They've done all the work on the opinion polls and all this stuff, of course, but we'll see. Like I said, it's kind of rock in a hard place, but I'm hopeful. And at least maybe it draws interest, or maybe some outrage. Maybe we get nothing and it's outrage. So what's your prediction? Do you think that we'll learn anything new from the government then? Like anything specifically new?
No, I think it's more of a people, the masses who are still sleeping, who are still saying, "Oh, aliens aren't real," and blah blah. I think for us, it's more gaining allies, and for the rest of the world to realize that this shit is really true, and we're not idiots, and we're not stupid, and they're getting on the bandwagon. And from there, it's going to be a build-up of chaos and a build-up, kind of a snowball effect on the majority going to the elites and the government saying, well, now it's time. You've given us this much. How much more are you hiding? We want more. And this is what I'm hoping for.
I agree. Let's hope for the best, in that at least, even if this step here isn't what we want, it's the catalyst for what takes us to that next step. Whatever that next step is, I don't know, but hopefully it's even if it's nothing and causes outrage, that where they have to give up a little more, I'm okay with that. I hope it's a step in the right direction is all. And we have a lot of reasons to be suspicious, a lot of reasons to be hopeful. But who knows? I mean, am I expecting anything big? Nah.
No.
No.
I'm not. I'm expecting him to say, that there has been, here are the different types, and there has been some kind of craft floating around for whatever long, and that's it. I'm not expecting him to say we've had connection, we've got the technology, we've done da-da-da-da-da. I'm not expecting any of that stuff. It's just an affirmation of, yes, there's something. But they're never going to release the real information, the stuff that we can't even get hold of.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I mean,
it's shameful.
Yeah, it is shameful. And there's a lot of layers here. Like I said, I just don't know. I think that I hope it's a step in the right direction. Like I said, that's really kind of all I have, other than I know I'm going to be disappointed, because I know there's more.
Yeah.
There's a bigger story to tell, and we're not going to get it all. 4 pages is nothing. Like we said, a dental bill is bigger than 4 pages for crying out loud. Right? I mean, It's true. It's totally true.
Whose dental bill is that?
Mine. And it was a cleaning, and it was an exam, and it was X-rays. And it's like
fuck my life.
Yeah, because they bill the hell out of the insurance. That shit's a scam too. Don't get me started on that. But I'm just saying, like, my oil change receipt is like 2.5 pages. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, come on, like 4. We'll see. Anyway,
you guys go through a lot of paper.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's totally stupid. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Save the environment.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's true. Can you
technology
give us
people catch up?
Yeah. Email me the 4-page receipt. Can we get an update, Tam, on what's up in South Africa? Are you able to tell us? Have the lockdown ceased?
Yeah. No, so we're on, I don't know how it works there, but we're back to level 2. So level 5 is our big lockdown, and level 1 is obviously, sort of going back to normal, but still with masks. But we've gone back down to level 2. The third wave has hit us hard. We've had 11,000 outbreaks in the last 2 days with COVID, and this is the third wave. So there's people sick. They are sick, and they're very sick. However, we are. This is all hearsay. I don't know who's listening, but we can get hold of ivermectin, and it seems to be the remedy of choice.
You can or cannot get a hold of it.
We can.
Oh, nice. We had that doctor on.
Yeah?
I don't know if you heard that episode. The doctor from United States here, and he was actually recommending that particular thing you said. I will say it again as exactly.
Oh shit.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. I'm just not going to tack it on 5 times in a row is all. But yeah.
Yeah.
He recommended that. But go ahead.
Okay. So with that specific medication, it's actually used for animals. And the whole reason for the government not to bring it out immediately is because it hasn't been safely tested on humans. The dosage for animals and humans is completely different. And this was the whole the whole issue here in South Africa, because they banned it here because people were getting it illegally. And that's, well, you can't do that because you don't know the safety precautions. But yeah, we're starting to get that in. People are getting better. This third wave is hard. It's not that it's worse. It's more contagious. But people are getting better. And they're finally starting to release out what vitamins you can take and what immune boosters really do work. And it's now starting to, I know it sounds airy-fairy, but small things really do matter, increasing your zinc intake and things like that. It's really a matter of small steps to being immune. And it might not sound like the greatest thing, but I'm not a fan of great medication or big medication. I'm not a fan of big pharma, and I will do anything not to take medication. But yeah, and yes, what did we have? 67% of all new cases are in Gauteng alone, which is our main capital province. And we're just waiting for the other provinces to hit with a third wave, which is states in the USA. And then it's the rest of the world.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
And well, no, isn't I think one of the places, the hotspots for a particular variant? Or do you guys have like the Delta variant or something like that? Is that what's going on down there?
Well, the UK and us, we share the new variants all the time. They blame us and we blame them. We don't know where it started from, but it is a new strain. So it's a bit of a stronger strain. Like I said, it doesn't make you more sicker. It's not stronger. It's just a little bit more contagious. So everyone in the world hates us right now. We're not allowed to go anywhere. We're stuck. We're like an island. We might as well be an island. But yeah, that's the new strain. Really, that's all it is.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm hearing again, I'm starting to hear the fear mongering start to happen again. They're like the Delta variant. I'm like, oh shit, here we go again.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. It's fear mongering, right? And it's really all about how you got to be adult about the situation. I mean, yeah, if you believe it or don't believe it, the point is just wear a mask. I mean, another thing that's I checked out another statistic where normal flu and colds and things like that have gone down dramatically, and it's because people are a little bit more hygienic because people are gross, right? So
yeah, they are. Totally.
Yeah. So those things have gone down, and then I saw the COVID stats, and then I looked at the previous year's death rates. And if you look at the previous year's death rates to the new COVID strain, or the COVID for the last two years, the death rates haven't increased at all. It's pretty much standard. It's really the same.
Right.
Died more than any other year. Right. So I don't know.
Which again, you're not allowed to say that, by the way, because you say that and it makes you a.
Hello.
Yeah. You hear me? Test 1 2. Are you there? Tam. Hello.
Did I lose you?
No, I hear you. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. I think we lost Tam. Well, I'll try and get her back in. Comments on that, Jay? Will I try and get this figured out?
I don't know if I should be touching it right now.
That's a good point. That's kind of a good point.
I agree with Cameron, and we lost her. I mean, that's, we're all preaching to the choir right now,
Yeah, a little bit.
We know it, I mean, it's a odd thing. It really is.
Hello?
Wow, Cameron's back. Go ahead, ma'am.
Test.
Oh. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what happened.
That's all right. Neither do I. We got
medication.
Yeah, exactly, right? You can't say the I word. The I word, it rhymes with So,
Yeah.
never mind.
I got nothing either.
I got nothing.
I mean, how many letters of the alphabet do we have left? Shit.
None.
You can't mention the other one.
Yeah, that's true. The 17th letter. Yeah, you're right. It's turning into 1984 with the newspeak. It's like we're not allowed to say that was magnificent. You have to say double plus good.
It's on my coffee table now. That's when I'm sitting around watching the kids with their tablets and stuff. That's what I'm reading on chapter 2.
Nice.
1984.
Hell yeah. That's a classic of classics.
1984.
Yeah.
I was 3.
3. Nice. Classic of classics.
I think in 1984 I had to read 1984. I'm old.
I'm old. We're all kind of old. It's okay. It's okay, guys. All right. So
okay. I'm turning 40 this year, so it's okay.
Congratulations.
No, gross.
No. The older we get, it's like a victory, right? Like we're still here. You can beat your chest and howl at the moon still. Many people have not been able to be as fortunate as us. So let's look at the bright side.
Okay, silver linings.
Okay. All right. Silver linings. All right. So we got to wrap this up, but final thoughts while we got you on, Tam?
Don't do that to me.
Don't
do it to me.
Oh, no. You don't have to. You can say, no, Michael Screen, shut up. I don't have a final
hold
thought.
on. So Benjamin said earlier how he loves troubled minds. I just want to concur. I love troubled minds.
Thank you.
I really do.
Thank you.
It's such a great family of like-minded individuals with a common goal of getting the truth and having freedom. And I love that. And it's the only place where we get to talk about all these weird things and the craziness that's in our minds. And we're actually all hyper intelligent because there's an access to our minds where it's really untouched for the other masses and where it's not for us. And it's a great place to be. And I love it.
Amen, Tam. I love that you love it. I'm glad you participate. And like I said, I sometimes I miss you in the chat there at the end if you show up at the end because there's things going on sometimes in the chat or some other. Anyway, so I apologize if I miss you in the chat. I do see you there when you show up. Thank you for, like I said, thanks for waking up early and listening. Thanks for calling in and being part of this. Thanks for sharing what's happening in your part of the world because that stuff is critically important because hearing it from people that live there is way better by leaps and bounds ever than getting it from the press. So those are the types of things when we come together. You can ask me about what's happening in my area. I'll tell you. It's like, hey, this is what's going on, and it's not filtered by the press. It's from me to you, and that's what makes this medium, this platform, this show, all of this so valuable. So thank you again for updates on that stuff. It does make my world go around. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime.
Thank you. Jay. Let's do this, buddy. Let's do the outro.
I want to know whether or not I should steal the one from my friend that I saw in the Discord today, or the one that I looked up.
You pick it. Tam, don't go anywhere. We're gonna finish this out. We're gonna do the outro with Tam and Jay tonight, and I'm gonna play some music. So we got about, let's see, what's the time on this music? 3 minutes and 44 seconds, guys. I'll turn it down so you can talk over it. But you get to do the radio outro. We'll go Jay, we'll go Tam, and then I'll finish it up. So you guys got a minute, about a minute each. Jay, you're up. Go.
I did my already.
Tam, it was a pleasure listening to you tonight. I really appreciate your outlook on things. And
thanks, Jay.
it doesn't cost you anything to be nice. And for Christ's sakes, Tam, you're awesome. I mean, really.
If I could boop your nose, I would.
I think I'm going to steal. I really think I want to steal the one that I saw from my friend today because I think it's more appropriate than mine. Right. It's your quote, Mike. Who said this? Michael Strange. I don't know how to save the world. I don't have the answers or the answer. I hold no secret knowledge as how to fix the mistakes of generations past and present. I only know that without compassion and respect of all Earth's inhabitants, none of us will survive, nor do we deserve to. I mean, that was awesome, Mike. I mean,
to that wasn't me. Somebody else said that. Amen. That was a good one.
Well, it's Leonard Pletler.
There you go.
Who said it? I mean, just so we don't get a strike against the copyright or anything.
Fantastic.
But
thank you, Jay.
But people have been telling us this for years and years and years. I had to go through and semi-ask for permission to keep doing on the Masons thing that I was doing, because is that right or is that wrong? I don't want to make anybody mad, but these are 120-year-old books, man, and were left in my house when I bought it.
Might be secrets, man. Might be secrets. Jay,
but
good shit, man. Good shit, man. Let's go to Tam. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate that, brother.
I said my say. We're just such a great family, and I love you guys so much, and I love the camaraderie and the like-mindedness and a place of safety and openness and respect of values, and it's a great place to be. So thank you to everybody for the Troubled Minds family and our fearless leader, Mike.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's like I always say, guys, it only takes one person to start a movement. And even though I don't have those answers like Jay was saying there, I don't ever expect to change the world, but I hope someday, from me to you to somebody else, to somebody else, to somebody else, down the line, we inspire the person who can change the world. So thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for being part of the show tonight. Thanks, Tam. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, everybody out there. You make my world go round, and hopefully we can. Hopefully one day inspire the person that will change the world. Thanks again, guys. Be sure, be strong, be true. Thanks, Tam. I appreciate the enthusiasm. Jay, great outro quote.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
I stole it from you.
From our Troubled Minds to yours. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a great night.
Bye.